I hope you are doing well. I am just pretty much just getting here from work. I hope you guys join the stream. We are going to be, yeah, and I am getting some sound from the LNC meeting. We're going to be joining a meeting of cowardly psychopaths. If y'all don't know where that joke came from, before you get all ass mad, ask me. I am on mute. Not that I would care if they heard that I called them.
I would highly encourage redundancy. Any committee member that wants to make a local recording can do so as a co-host with the recording.
Well, John, you can get your recording from here, but you won't like my commentary.
It does look like some
fake
members
secretary
of the gallery are being admitted, so I'm just going to go ahead and admit those who, for whatever reason, have not been.
It's not really your fault. You're a nice guy, but you should have never have taken a fraudulent position.
All right.
I like you. All right, you 12 people who are watching, at least, you can at least say hi in chat. So let's take some bets. And I've got a shot glass if you want, full of Grand Marnier, if you want to tell me each time I need to take a sip. How about every time, I don't know, decorum I don't think they're going to use a lot, but I will take a big sip every time they say decorum. I will take a sip every time Joshua says hypocrite, which should be a lot. How much you want to bet they censor him? They will. Richard Longstreth is such a whiny little bitch. If you just saw his message, and I want to be sure that the secretary can screenshot my little screed against Joshua because the state's not reaming us, this is what we need to be doing. This is what your LNC is spending time doing. And this guy, Tyler Harris, that you're paying, that's what they're making him do. We're paying Tyler Harris for this crap. And this is no offense on Tyler. Tyler is a fantastic executive director. And he makes decent money because it's in D.C. and you don't live for cheap in D.C. But this is the shit we're paying. Oh, crap, and I don't have that picture of Whitney I wanted. Shit. Oh, I do have a computer here. Maybe I can get it really quickly. No, I can't because I'm using the program that has it stored in it.
I hear you, Richard.
Yeah, I can hear you, Richard. I wish I didn't. So let's see who's here. Why does Pat Ford say Par Ford? I love how my name's right up at the top there. Should I change my name to LNC Secretary in Exile? They'll throw me out of the room if I do that. I'd love to do it, though. Maybe I could do it in another language that they don't know. That would be funny. George Phillies is here. Look at there's people. The Ryan Smith I expected. I'm just looking at the guests. Daryl Perry, yes, I expected. Not very many other people that are surprises, mostly LNC members. Omar goes to every meeting. Now, Joshua will probably do something tonight to like earn a censure because I think that's his goal. But this whole thing is crap. Why did they make Jared Hall co-host? Oh, they're making all the LNC members co-hosts. I get it. This is all just such absolute crap. I wonder if the LNC is going to fall into another executive session. Oh, boy. And it's hard for me to stay mad at John Wilford because he is such a cutie pie. But man, look at Stephen Nicola. He is so buff, it makes me sick. Every time I see that dude, he's getting bigger. Whitney put on makeup. That's nice. I wish I had that picture, though, of her. Erin is always dressed sharp. She has some really cute clothes. That's a stark-looking bedroom you got there, John Wilford.
I'm about to do a test share just to make sure it's going to work.
Oh, Jess, I don't have.
Okay, so it's supposed to be.
I don't know how to do that when I'm
Oh, no.
midstream.
Go like this.
If you go to the LNC list, it's been bumped to the top
Is
of
that
the LNC list.
showing?
You are sharing your screen.
But they're not going to allow public commentary, and I bet you the chat's turned off. Let me go look. But chat disabled. Ha! Go figure. But let me see if I can find that, Jess. Funny enough, I can't post in my own stream right now. There's like something I need to enable for that, and I haven't figured it out yet. Let's see here. Let me do restream chat. Because I figured it out the other night. But this is such crap. So if I go to
I'm going to go ahead and begin my recording
events,
now. I am ready to go live with
Recording in progress.
Chat app.
All right, it is 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, which is the time this meeting was scheduled to begin.
And they won't add to the agenda a censor of Whitney, which was asked to be on here. How corrupt can you be?
Absolutely, Madam Chair.
By the way, I'm calling the LNC meeting to order at 8 p.m. Eastern.
All right.
Oh, and
I'm
I
going
just
to
typed it
proceed
in.
Alphabetical order of the rep.
I'm going to be eating dinner, so excuse me.
Followed
I'll
by
mute myself
alternates
while
where
I'm eating.
applicable. So, Adams.
Present.
Oh, she sounds
Best.
thrilled to be there.
Present.
Bowen. Ford.
Present.
It's an LNC mukbang.
Efke.
Present.
Hagan.
Here.
Hewitt. Sierra.
Present.
Hogarth.
Here.
Dassing. Lucchini. Flores. Longstreth.
Here.
Mulman.
Here.
Nana. Paul.
Present.
Nikayla.
Present.
Sexton. Phillips.
Here.
Alex Flores and Chris Lucchini say they cannot unmute, but they are here.
Okay, I will go mark them.
Justin Nana says the same.
Okay. Okay. Vieman.
Buffman, but I'm present.
Buckman. My apologies. Rotsup. Sarwark.
I'm here.
Smith.
Present.
I am
Tyler,
here,
you don't need a
and
second to
Madam
ask
Chair.
for something to be put on the
I'm
agenda.
here. Okay, give me just a second to tally those up.
Do, 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 do. How long does it take to count LNC members and tell the chair there's a quorum present?
3 and 2.
A long time, apparently.
Okay, so I have 14 members and 6 alternates present. with a total of 16 spots represented and 3 members and 2 alternates absent with 1 seat not represented here.
Madam Chair, Mr. Bowen and Mr. Hewitt just joined.
All right, let me get those.
Mr. Wilford, can you make that note?
Absolutely. Mr. Marking them present.
Sorry I'm meeting at the same time, but I did just come home from work.
That puts us at
Where the shit did I put my phone?
Okay,
at?
the updated total, 16 members and 6 alternates present with 16 seats represented and 1 member and 2 alternates absent with 1 seat not represented.
all right.
Madam Chair, may I ask which member is
There's no
absent?
seats not represented.
The absent member is Rod Sepp.
Thank you.
Oh, you mean seat as in at large, don't you? I thought they meant a region. My bad.
Okay, so this meeting
Why
was
isn't Rad
called
Sepp here?
for the
That's
purposes
not
of
good.
considering a motion to censure Joshua Smith for a specific policy violation. So that will be the only topic of business tonight.
He validly asked for
I
other things to
see
be
Mr.
noticed.
Longstreth seeking to be recognized.
You should raise
Thank you,
a point of
Madam Chair.
order.
To go ahead and get on with our agenda, I think that we should open it up to public comment. How much public comment are we
Oh,
going to have?
yes, you are correct. I was thinking 15 minutes, 2 minutes per speaker. Thank you for the reminder.
And if I could stay in the queue until we are ready to begin.
I'm going to do public
Yes.
comment.
Okay, we are starting public comment at this time, so that'll be
Madam
15
Chair,
minutes.
Madam Chair, we have a
Mr.
lot,
Smith?
we have a lot of people in the gallery that are probably going to be seeking to be recognized. Can we move to make that 30 minutes at least?
Are you making a motion?
I would like to move to make it 30 minutes. Yes.
I'll second.
We have a motion to extend public comment to 30 minutes, and it has been seconded. Any objections to that? Hearing no objection, we will extend public comment to 30 minutes, 2 minutes per speaker.
Madam Chair?
Ms. Hogarth?
In light of Mr. Smith's comments, if we reduce time to 1 minute, that leaves time for 27, 28 people to speak. And so I move that.
All right, we have a motion to limit speaking time to 1 minute per, as opposed to 2 minutes.
Second.
Has been seconded. Any objections?
Yeah.
Hearing none. 1 minute per speaker for 30 minutes.
It should be on the agenda.
And I see Ms. Harlow. It's the first hand I saw. Mr. Harris, when will these individuals be able to unmute themselves, or do I need to call their names and then you unmute them?
No,
What's
if
the
I
procedure?
call their names, I can ask them to unmute, at which point they will have to accept unmuting themselves.
I see. Okay. So if I let you know who they are, then you prompt them. Okay.
That is
Ms. Harlow.
All right, thank you. Since I only have a minute, I'll make this fast. I'm just so astounded the LNC's canceling their March meeting because they have nothing to do, and they canceled their monthly meetings. Yet, in the middle of the COVID regime, this is what you guys are thinking is the most important thing to do because the whole party is demanding it. And I'd like to know what's going on with my 2 complaints that I asked to be investigated by the executive committee, or at least the chair, back in August, that the chair told me would be resolved by November 6th, but haven't yet. That's very interesting how fast you move on Joshua Smith. And what you're censuring him for is the exact same thing you guys did to me because you violated the same policy manual provision and the very rude emails sent by our party chair and the cursing email that Mr. Phillips sent to a volunteer. I'm wondering why those aren't the motion of a censure, and Mr. Longstreth calling me a liar when I proved that I wasn't, when I thought we weren't allowed as LNC members to be criticizing normal members because that's what you zapped me for. I think this baloney is called hypocrisy. Thank you, esteemed members of the LNC.
Thank you, Ms. Harlows. I show Ryan Brown.
Hey, I'll make it quick. I want to know which one of you guys bought stock in the largest rake seller, because you guys are trying to hit every single rake, it seems. It's embarrassing. It's unneeded. And I think you guys are also a little cowardly for not having the chat open. The chat should be open for every meeting. And if you guys can't handle the chat, you can't handle the state. This is embarrassing, and pretty much all of you deserve censure at some point for your actions in the last 6 months. Thank you.
Well, I see no other hands.
And I could have had 2 minutes. There's a hand up, David Brady. I don't know who
David
that
Brady.
is.
Hello, hi. I'm a slightly newer member. I've been part of the party for probably a few months now, but from as I've seen from the LNC in my time as part of the party, it seems the LNC is more interested in pursuing political witch hunts against those they disagree with when they raise valid concerns against some of the actions of staffers. I think that the LNC should dismiss the notion of censoring Joshua Smith and should instead choose to reflect upon themselves whether or not they truly care about the cause of liberty, or if they're more interested in maintaining control over a small social club. Well, that is all.
Very good.
Thank
Very
you,
good
Mr.
comments.
Brady. I see no other members of the gallery seeking to be recognized.
Because they won't be heard by you.
Minutes
You
for
don't
them
care.
to do so. I do see that Mr. Rodset may have joined.
I have. I
Okay.
do apologize for my tardiness.
Thank you, Mr. Rodset. Welcome. So that brings us to 17, correct?
I almost called them cowardly
Right, no,
psychopaths, but I
17
held
spots are
back.
represented.
I should have said be well. I forgot. That would have been awesome.
Non-LNC member seeking to be recognized for public comment. I see Nolan Pelletier.
Daniel Lutz is in there.
On. Hello?
We can hear you, but we're getting some feedback echoing on your end.
Oh, is that better?
Seems to be.
I think this meeting is a waste of time, but I did have a question. Wasn't there another? I believe Josh brought forward another
Yep.
thing for the agenda tonight. Is that not going to be on there?
Electronic meetings are special meetings that can only cover the topics that were listed in the call to the meeting.
He
So,
asked
no,
for it to
we
be
have one
listed
agenda
in the
item,
call to
and
the
it was
meeting.
The purpose for which the whole call was scheduled.
He asked for it to be listed. You can do
Okay.
that.
I wish you guys spent more time doing Liberty stuff besides this, but thank you.
Thank you.
She sounds nice, doesn't she?
Daniel Lutz.
Yes, thank you. I'll go ahead and put my. Oh, I can't start my video,
Uh-oh.
so everyone can look at my black screen.
Uh-oh, Carol Moore is going to be on there.
I'm just going to put this out there to the stalwarts and the old guard.
You're going to lose your position.
This was on you to stay on principle, to keep this party on principle. And when you sell out principle for the quick and easy solution, you sell out the party to being Republican and Democrat. When you see a problem you present a better solution. You
Now,
present a
KW,
better
I try to
argument.
just say my piece and move on.
What I've seen in the past year is the out and out selling of principles.
I
for the
don't have
cheap
the picture,
wins and the
Shannon.
quick
I'm sorry.
victories. And it is sad. It is not libertarian. It is not on principle to try and silence ignorant people. You outsmart ignorant people. This party has shown that it cannot outsmart ignorant people. Thank you.
That was a weird comment. Made it sound like he was calling Joshua ignorant, which I know he wasn't.
Lauren Springer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This party has let us down many, many, many times, specifically the LNC, over the last year and a half, almost 2 years. We've got a tyrannical government that is stripping our rights away one by one.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission is to fight against liberty, and instead we're stuck here fighting amongst ourselves.
Yep.
Sitting there throwing people off of boards, throwing people out of parties.
But
at
she's
the
wearing
state
makeup
level.
tonight, Shannon. She
This is
actually
out of
looks pretty
control.
nice.
We need to get back on the mission of liberty, of fighting back against the government and making all of us free. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in Reno.
I'll drink this entire Grand Marnier if Carol Moore mentions my boobs. She won't, but who knows? Maybe she
Madam
will.
Chair.
Mr. Moman.
I apologize. There's a call-in number from an 859 area code who cannot raise his hand because he's dialed in but asked to be heard.
No, they're going to have some people on their side in a minute. They've been furiously
can
texting
you identify the
people.
number and
I
the
guarantee
caller?
Uh,
you, I know how they operate.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's Bill Schultz from Kentucky.
Which phone number is it that we should?
It's 859-391.
That's fine. I just need the first three. Tell me the name again. I'm sorry.
Bill Schultz.
Okay. I'm happy.
Yeah,
to have
Josh
Bill
is
go
there, Shannon.
Next, actually. I think there is a feature to raise hands on the phone, but I don't know what it is. So if there is a
There is
on here. Go ahead, Mr. Schultz. I assume he can.
Yeah, sorry that I'm not on the app. I'm picking up my children. Like Mr. Mullen said, this is Bill Schultz, founding member, the charter member of the Libertarian Party.
I know, they haven't said a thing about Boston vax
Echoing many of the
passports.
previous comments, I wanted to express my disappointment that this is the topic of today's meeting instead of so many other more important things that are going on in our country, in our world. I genuinely want
Look what I'm
libertarian
wearing.
unity and all of the infighting to stop. And I certainly recognize that no one is blameless in this, including Mr. Smith. But taking this next step instead of so many other actions, I don't think is going to help anyone fight the state. So I yield the rest of my time.
Richard
Thank
is
you for
getting
all your
very
hard work.
ass mad right now.
Thank you.
Bitches, assholes, puckering hard.
Carol Moore.
Okay, hi, I'm Carol Moore. I'm, write a lot on Facebook about all this, and I've been a
But
party
nobody
member
pays
since,
attention because they all have you blocked.
1979. I fought the right wing under Ron Paul in 1987, the moderates who gutted the platform, and I haven't been too happy with the PC left-wingers the last few years. I thought the Mises Caucus might have to show some promise, but it quickly became apparent to me that the leadership, at least,
This
is very
isn't about the
right-wing,
Mises Caucus, Carol.
and edgelord and the bigots. They're bigots. Okay, so I want to see Joshua Smith censured. I think that's enough. But I want to find out if he's really saying the N word on his podcast all the time, because that's what I've heard.
Don't
but,
mention his
I don't listen to
podcast.
it,
You're not
so
allowed to have podcasts.
he
They
can,
threw me off for that.
Tell us someday whether or not he does that. That would be real nice. Thank you.
It'd be real nice if you just,
I've never once
Thank
said
you.
the N-word, then you can watch my show anytime you want. It's free.
Next up,
Thank you,
Nicholas.
Joshua.
I do not show a last name.
Good evening, Main
She wasn't
Snap.
too bad,
Thank you.
Carol Moore.
Uh,
That the
I've
last
already
part was
gone on
awful,
record
but she
sending
didn't
a
sound
letter
like
to the
completely
LNC about this.
barking
but,
moonbat.
I
She was
can't
crazy, but
echo
not as crazy
strong
as I
enough
thought she would
some
be.
of the sentiments that we've heard already. I became pledged to become a lifetime member when Carolyn Ann Harlow showed me that the party of principle is more than a tagline, and I have been disappointed in the actions of the leadership since then. So it wouldn't even be a problem to undertake these actions against Carolyn Ann and Josh Smith if they were applied equally to all members of the party when they do some pretty outrageous things. But the fact that you're only targeting the people who you see as your political rivals for these offices in this like really pretty small party in the scheme of things, it's just not credible to the membership to pretend that it's about anything related to principle.
Thank
And
you,
that's all I
Nicholas.
have to say.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think I will get some
Daryl
good
Perry?
shots, Shannon. Even with the makeup, she's looking pretty sour. Though the makeup's on point. Uh-oh, here now. We'll see who's going to be crazier,
Excellent.
Carol
Finally unmuted.
or Daryl.
Thank you, Chair Bill Yu, and the rest of the LNC. I am unfortunately here.
Does Daryl actually
tonight
have his
listening to
pronouns on his profile
this,
there?
And I just hope that after the censure of Joshua Smith, something can finally be done about some of the affiliates on social media that are being edgelords.
Daryl used to be the biggest edgelord of them all.
Unfortunately, from my affiliate here in New Hampshire, saying that Black people in America get special access to essential drugs, receive special federal funding due to race, and are first in line for every college and every job. America isn't in debt to Black people. If anything, it's the other way around. That was posted today on Martin Luther King Day. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is not the first time that such idiocy has been tweeted out by LPNH. There are other affiliates tweeting just...
Their convention is coming up in 2 weeks, Daryl. Run against them.
I hope that you will take action and disaffiliate all of the affiliates that are posting this.
Thank you, Mr. Perry. Time is up.
Don't you
I
got some
see
hair
no
to
one
collect,
else
Daryl?
From the gallery seeking to be recognized.
Such a joke. Jason, they don't care about the facts. That's why I don't even deal with it.
Mr. Harris, would you say? Or
I've got 15.
15 left.
Pat Ford has had his hand up this whole time. I don't know if he's
Yes,
gonna be-
indeed. He's an LNC member, though. So
Yeah, but he's an alternate.
is this, Mr. Ford, this is something specifically for public comment, or is it more appropriate?
They
to
still
be
kept the
delivered
chat
during the
off. Cowards.
It's for public comment. I'd like to know, I'm not able to check myself. Have in fact comments been disabled?
Yes.
They have.
Why?
Mostly because of the behavior of the people in the chat.
What about the behavior of the people on the LNC?
And if we were,
the people in the chat are members, aren't they? For the most part, I would say.
we have no way of knowing that.
Oh, go fuck
Right,
off.
But I'm assuming that we've
So
got
during a
alternate-
meeting in real life, people would not be allowed to sit in the room and chat.
Oh,
while we're
Shannon, I'm
conducting
getting my
meetings.
screenshots
So
right now.
I'm not really sure that there's a difference here. People can still be.
Oh, look at that look.
Find other ways to communicate. But they can
chat
also.
on YouTube video. They can certainly
Okay.
chat on the YouTube video, and I think that's all we're asking here. They're not able to give voice to it, which I understand, in order to keep the meeting intact. But I will always trust the membership to their ability to say what they want.
Go,
If someone
Pat Ford,
says
I love
something
you.
That is obscene or means an actual intended injury, not just nasty words or sticks and stones, then I can see possibly muting that individual. But I see no reason whatsoever.
You are right,
why
Pat.
the voice of the people can't be evidenced in chat.
During in the Zoom chat, no. On YouTube chat, okay.
Because you don't want to see them.
It's not really your decision either. It's been
Well,
historically
it's-
on. You can't just make
It's
that.
Mr. Smith.
unilaterally.
You don't have the floor. You have not been recognized.
It's not your
I don't care.
unilateral
Mr.
decision.
Ford.
It's not your unilateral
Mr. Ford has
decision,
the
Whitney.
floor.
You're not the queen.
like I said, in a real life meeting, people would not be able
The
to
LNC
sit here
should
and
be able to
disruptive
vote.
in the chat. They wouldn't be able to sit and talk while we are conducting a meeting.
Crap, I need my
So if they wanted to
phone
go do
when
that
it's in
out
the
in the
car.
hallway, for example, that's the equivalent of perhaps
Shit.
doing this on the YouTube chat. So they're welcome to do it there. I
Final
see
point.
no, Mr. Ford.
Final point. First of all, this is not spoken word; it's written, and it's unfortunate that that the feedback I get from Region 8 is that these type of sort of spurious moves are actually work to disenfranchise people and work to raise suspicion. If no one wants to see things that are mean said, then they don't have to watch this chat. It's kind of like a television station. And again, this is written word, just like the written word in YouTube. Final point, I see absolutely no difference, and this will lead to further dissension amongst the members, which I'd like to remind people we are here to serve.
Thank you, Mr. Ford.
She doesn't get to
Ryan
make that
Brown.
unilateral decision, though. Why isn't an LNC member making a motion? They probably don't know they can.
I believe you've already recognized Mr. Brown.
I have, and he's apparently seeking to be recognized
I
again.
apologize.
My apologies.
There is a lag at times in the unmuting, and please don't hold it against the speaker.
No problem. Thank you, Tyler. Yeah, I would just like to, again, comment that there's no different than passing a note in class. It's not visually disruptive. It's not disruptive in any way. The members should be allowed to chat. And if you don't want to see the chat, close your eyes or close the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Ms. Harlos.
I'll make this. I don't know if I'm unmuted yet. No, I'm not.
Ms. Harlos.
It's not letting me unmute. Okay, it wasn't letting me unmute. My apologies.
I can hear you.
You can hear me now. Okay, thank you. It's very quickly, the LNC gets to make the decisions about the chat. If an LNC member would like chat to be enabled, I would suggest an LNC member make a motion about that because the chair is not the queen.
Thank you, Ms. Harlos. Excellent point.
Yeah, it is. I know.
Daniel Lutz.
Yes, thank you. As someone who has given time and money to this party, I think it is laughable that our national chair is making BS excuses to shut down a text chat. You know what? If it disturbs you from watching the meeting, Madam Chair, you can close the chat. You don't have to look at it, but you don't have to silence libertarians from exchanging ideas.
You're not
That
liked,
is
Whitney.
unlibertarian. That is censorship. That is big government. President Biden, bill you.
Oh!
So clever, Mr. Lutz. Thank you.
Ooh, and she
Mr.
was a
Smith.
smart ass to him.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to open the chat. And I shouldn't have to because no one can unilaterally make that decision. But I make a motion to open the chat. It's no different than our members in the gallery talking to each other quietly while we're having meetings. It happens at every meeting. So I would make a motion to open the
Mr.
chat.
Smith.
Thank you.
Thank you. And also, just so you know, the meetings are run by the chair, by the presiding officer.
But no, they're not ruled. They're not ruled. No, you're the one. Oh my God. No, you're. Oh,
I don't
the
need to
rest
do
of
the
your
talk back.
motion.
Thank you.
Is there a second for Mr. Smith's motion?
I'll second.
Who was that,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Nicola?
Madam Chair, are we still on public comment?
We are actually.
She doesn't know.
So I would
The
ask
chair
whether or
is
not we
not
should
the
wait until we finish
ruler
public
of
comment
the
and then we can come
meeting.
directly
Oh my
back to
God, I
Mr.
can't
Smith's
believe she
motion.
said that. That's going to be an episode of Cult of
Actually, I have no problem
R1R.
with getting this dispensed with at this point.
That is definitely going to be an
So it
episode.
has been
She does
seconded. Are
not
there any
know what it
objections to
means
opening
to
the
be
chat?
a
It would
presiding
be
officer.
immediate If we do that.
God, what a.
I object.
All right, we have an objection to opening the chat.
Of course, Chris Lucchini objects.
Mr. Smith, I believe you've already spoken to your motion. Are you satisfied with that?
Yeah, I don't need to speak to it. Thanks.
Thank you.
All
Mr.
right.
Lucchini, please speak to your objection.
In the past, we've had pornography and
Oh,
other
poor baby.
behavior in the chat.
Oh.
As previously noted, if people want to make comments, they're free to do so on the YouTube stream.
I wonder if Region 1 agrees with
that
you,
is the
Mr.
equivalent
Lucchini.
of
Oh, you don't
hallway.
care about that.
And this room is the equivalent of being inside the meeting room. So believe
And
the
this
chat just-
finger is the equivalent of me telling you to go fuck yourself.
Anyone else wishing to speak on this particular matter?
Note who votes no to open the chat.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Moman?
Yes. There's been a bit of, if I assume you're calling me to have the floor.
Yes.
Okay. There's been a lot of discussion on this topic. I'm conflicted because I do want our members to be able to communicate with us. At the same time,
Don't look at it, Ken, if you don't like
hosting
it.
a platform upon which members are acting in a way that creates legal liability for our party,
It doesn't.
that's an issue.
It doesn't create
And
legal
I don't know
liability.
that we have the resources to patrol that.
I'll patrol
on
it for
YouTube,
you.
if somebody makes a bad comment or other social media, the hammer of the social media tyrants, and they are tyrannical and awful and overly so.
I'm disappointed
come
in
down hard on
what Ken's saying today, and I was very
So I would ask
disappointed
that
in
if
him
this
yesterday.
motion passes, that our members please be respectful of the chat, because that's why it's been turned off. I know there's been discussions on that. That the liability is the issue.
There isn't, though.
Please be respectful.
That's a red
because
herring.
At the end of the day, as much as we want people to communicate, we also have a fiduciary responsibility to protect the party. So
It doesn't get
thank
past
you.
the
That's all.
social media censors.
Any other LNC
I just
members
had
wishing
somebody
to speak
span a
on
porn
this
link right
matter?
here in this chat, and this is on
Mr.
YouTube.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say that I know in the past we have had some meetings where chat's been open. We've had some meetings where chat's been closed. I know for me personally, during COVID, my city council had Zoom meetings. We did have the chat open. I don't think there's any legal liability on our
isn't.
part as long as people can't pop in. Video feed wise, I think the chat is okay if people want to utilize it. And as long as people can conduct themselves somewhat like adults, then fantastic. And if we don't like the chat, just let's not pay it any mind, close it,
Right.
and just ignore it if that's the case.
The way you do member
People,
emails, not you,
communicate,
Stephen.
and I think
But
it's
like the
fine. I
way
think it's-
Whitney
it's
ignores
correct.
member emails, why can't you ignore the chat the same way? She's going to win this motion, but I would love to get the screenshot of the face if she
Dassing?
lost.
You wishing to speak on this?
No,
Yeah,
they don't want to know,
I
Jesse,
would
what members
think.
think.
That the chat in this Zoom call is more private than the chat that's
Yes!
on YouTube, and that's what the public sees more. So
Yes!
if you're worried about inappropriate things being said, I'd be more concerned about what's going on in YouTube than in this meeting.
Yes!
And I think that's more of the public. Yeah, it's detrimental for the public to see if you're anything worried. But I don't remember any such pornography or anything like what Steven just said. There's going to be no video shared, and as long as they don't pop up in that, we can easily, like, I can't see the chat right now because I don't have it up. That's it.
Thank you.
You bet your ass I'll be in the chat if they open the
Mr.
chat.
Wilford, you had your hand up earlier, but it's
And I
gone now.
won't say
Just wanna
anything
make sure.
pornographic.
Yeah, I was just gonna move to call the question, but I think at this point it's moot.
Okay. I see no further people seeking to be recognized on this.
Actually, you see members, and you're supposed to ask
Any
the
objection to moving
LNC.
to a vote?
You're supposed to ask the LNC if they want to hear from the gallery,
Hearing no
Whitney.
objection.
Oh my God.
I think LNC members can use in the reactions, you can use the check and X's.
Oh my
Madam
God.
Chair, I would request a roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. That actually can happen. The
Of
process
course
that I
it
was
can.
about to describe.
No, it's not the same thing as a roll
if that
call.
is satisfactory, because
No.
we would be able
No.
to see next to each of
No.
their names how they're voting.
No. Blind people on the phone can't see. No.
Does that make sense?
No.
That's fine.
Okay.
No.
Withdrawn, I'm sorry.
Okay.
He's not. No.
All right. So
people on the
at
phone
this time,
can't
LNC
hear.
members who are
I'll
voting
say it out loud
eligible to
here.
vote at this time, there's a green check or a red X. You may cast your vote. And
Can you
Mr.
explain which vote is
Secretary.
Okay, Chris Lucchini voted no.
The motion is to open the chat.
But we knew that.
And that would be in Zoom and obviously YouTube as well, I suppose.
People on the phone
So,
can't see that.
A green
Laura
check
Epke
would mean
voted
yes, you
no.
want to
Ken
open the
Mullman
chat.
voted yes. Joshua
And a red
Smith
X would
voted
be
yes.
no. And Mr.
Dustin
Secretary, are you
Nana
able
voted yes.
to see all of those and track them?
Madam Chair, point of inquiry.
Ms. Adams?
Am I to understand that this vote makes the decision for this Zoom chat as well as the YouTube chat?
Susan Hogarth voted yes. I'm proud of her.
The Zoom chat, because
Tim
that's the only
Hagen
one
voted
that
yes. I'm proud of him. I'm
we started this
pleasantly
meeting with
surprised by Tim
as far as I
Hogan
know.
and Susan Hogarth.
Well, I just wanted to
Eric
clarify
Rodsep
because you
voted
just
yes.
said it would
Jeff Hewitt
close
voted
it
yes.
or open it for this and YouTube.
It
I want to
was-
make sure that the YouTube chat is going to stay open regardless of any vote that we have.
My
here. Is that
understanding was
correct?
that
Valerie
YouTube chat
Starwark
was
voted
already
no.
open.
Oh.
So this now makes Zoom and that one open.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So I think I am able to do it this way.
Okay.
Aaron Adams voted no.
Just have to make sure things.
John
are moving
Phillips
around up
hasn't
and down,
voted
so it
yet.
may be a little bit difficult. At first.
Yes, so this is kind of an experiment voting this way because as people mark, it does kind of shift the order.
I know.
around,
I know.
so.
Madam Chair, this is Mr. Phillips. I'm going to abstain on this vote, and there is no method for saying that.
Thank you.
Because you're a coward. I'm seeing if there's any votes I missed here. This is totally dumb. He could have done a roll call
I'm
vote by
going
now.
to actually request with things moving around that we just do a traditional call down the run.
Yeah, because the secretary
now
can't
that
possibly keep
it's
track
too
of
dynamic.
this. And I'm not even going to make fun of him for that because he's right.
Thank you for indulging me in trying that, what I thought would be efficient.
Not a problem. So, Adams.
No.
Boo.
Bowen.
Yes.
Yay.
Epke.
No.
Boo.
Hagen.
Yes.
I'm proud of you, T-Rex.
Hewitt.
Proud of you, too. Your votes haven't been
Hogarth.
so great lately.
Yes.
Proud of you. Your votes
Lucchini.
have definitely sucked.
No.
Of course you're no, and you never asked
Longstreth.
freaking one shit.
Yes.
Now that I'm surprised of.
Coleman.
I will give him major props.
Nana.
Yes.
Michaela.
I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay,
Phillips.
somebody get the screen grab of Whitney's
Abstain.
face.
Rodsep.
Yes.
Who abstained?
Sarwark.
No.
Oh, that was Phillips. Yeah.
Smith.
Yes.
I am going to abstain.
Coward.
And Madam Chair.
I do not need to vote. There's no tie here. It passes without me voting, correct?
It does pass. I can give you numbers if you want me to
I
count.
think I have them.
Madam Chair.
Fine. All right, I'm going in chat. I'm going in, fellas. Wish me luck. And I got in there. I said first.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Moman.
I just wanted to note to my fellow LNC members that if we are alerted that the check gets out of hand, I will switch my vote if it comes back up.
Thank you. And Mr. Harris or whoever was keeping time, can you tell me how many more minutes we have left in public comment?
I have 9 minutes and 45 seconds left when we
All right.
started that action.
Thank you. So it looks like some people are in to speak a second time. I'm going to go ahead and recognize those who have not spoken yet as we continue with public comment. So Justin Carmen.
It has become apparent that this is nothing more than a political charade yet again. Against part of the board's political opposition, nonetheless, particularly those who highlight the misdeeds. Given the infringements on freedom that have gone on a daily basis, I suggest the LNC actually start doing their job and fight the state, instead of those who are their ideological opposition. No longer is there any reading between the lines. It's plainly obvious what this dysfunctional board thinks about liberty and about its membership.
Thank you, Mr. Carmen. Just to clarify, the motion to open the chat did pass, even though the vote, I had 10-4-2. Just to confirm, Mr. Wilford, and the chat should be open.
Yeah, I can confirm those numbers, yes. 10-4. I got 10-4-3. I marked you as
You
abstaining.
counted mine. Okay, that's fine. All right, Derek Rethman.
Alrighty. I would like to just say that in the midst of just a bunch of important stuff happening, we take the time to do this, just censoring someone over the prospect of just questioning whether someone is actually doing their job right and whether we should continue their presence on the team. This is ridiculous and just cowardly to immediately recoil in such a fashion that we want to censure someone for this. It's a bit ridiculous, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Rethman. Pietro Garacci. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Please correct me if not.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There we go. You cannot start your video. Okay. Well, thank you for this opportunity to speak. I just wanted to comment that I think that having this meeting for the purpose of discussing a censor of anybody is a huge waste of time and does nothing except stir up drama and really distract from getting things done. I don't think this does anything. Nothing's going to change regardless of how this motion goes. If you think that the member in question's conduct is to the point where he should be removed, it's egregious enough, then remove him. And if it's not at that threshold, then perhaps take him aside and talk privately. But to do this whole big spectacle really
This is
makes
Richard,
no
the
sense.
Richard
There are too many
Longstreth
other
show,
pressing matters
Pietro.
the LNC should be focusing on. This is why I'm running for Libertarian National Committee, because I want to end the drama and grow the party.
Oh, good job, Pietro. I
Thank
should have did a pitch for my run. You showed me up, Pietro.
I see no other members of the public seeking to be recognized.
Yeah, JJ, they do think they'll be reelected. That's what's sad.
Mr. Molman, are you in line for later or,
I put my hand down. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was a
Oh,
artifact.
the video, the chat's
Okay.
right there. Let me just move your.
Mr. Rethman,
Let
are
me
you
move some
back,
things
or is
around,
this left
Tyler.
over from earlier?
Let me move me up and smaller because you don't need to see my mug.
I just wanted to say that just a correction from things earlier.
Here's our live
what
chat.
was said here. I believe that
And
the
on the
comments
right
on
hand?
YouTube are disabled. The chat's on. Don't know if that stays after the
On the
video,
right
but
hand, you can
comments under
see.
the YouTube definitely are off if that is any concern.
Comments don't come on till after
Thank
live
you for the
chat
information.
is off, dude. Hey, Liberty
Liberty.
Dad is here. I better behave now.
Ms. Chair, I would just like to say that viewing the LNC's actions as of late, they are more inspired by, again, a political witch hunt against those that are against their status quo and are frankly disgraceful. If you want to lead a party in which your goal is to advance liberty
look
in
at
the
that
United
look.
States of
I'm
America,
getting some great
then you are doing a
screenshots.
frankly terrible job of doing so, choosing to attack Joshua Smith for absolutely no reason, no reasonable reason, that is to say, and rather than actually challenging the current regime that is threatening the lives and livelihoods of many, many Americans. The LNC could be better focusing its time on messaging and letting people know that there are alternative options than the duopoly, but you have instead chosen to pursue this censure and waste our time. I would suggest that if you are more interested in this than actually advancing human liberty, then you are unfit for your role and should resign as chair.
Hey, my flirty fishing allegedly has come up in
you.
chat. I can take a drink, but I need more. I need more of Grand Marnier.
Dave Benner?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say if this body put forth half the effort it does to censure Joshua Smith, and remove Karen and Harlos as it did to censure the COVID regime.
Or Joe
we'd be
Bishop
making much more
Henchman.
headway against the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Benner. Anyone else from the gallery wishing to be recognized?
1 second. Oh.
How much time is remaining on this?
3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Unfortunately, the LNC is
Mr.
not
Smith?
watching the chat. They need to move to
Are we
postpone
done with public comment?
indefinitely.
It appears that way.
Okay, so can I be recognized for other things now? Okay.
Is there any objection to discontinuing public comment at this
Oh,
time?
okay. I was going to say it.
Approximately 2
I
minutes
almost
left.
got upset over
Anyone else in
something
the
that she wasn't going to do. I want our chat to be on the screen, Tyler. So no, because
Mr. Longstreth
I find
was
our
in the
chat
queue
infinitely
from
more
the
valuable.
get-go before, and he was the one that brought to our attention that we needed to do public comment. So Mr. Longstreth is up first, and then Mr. Smith, you're on deck.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I propose the following resolution that was sent out to the entire LNC body on behalf of
He's
the EPCC,
such a
which was passed
fucking
unanimously.
hypocrite.
I'll read it now.
The
and
motion
give it
he
a
made
second. I'll
against me
argue
violated
state.
the same section
Whereas
of the
in July
policy
2020,
manual.
At-large Representative Joshua Smith received the privilege and honor
Just
of
look
being
at the
reelected to
paragraph
represent
right
half
above the
Libertarian
one
Party
he
as
cites
an
in the
at-large
policy
representative
manual.
to the Libertarian National Committee. And whereas all staff and representatives elected to the Libertarian National Committee are expected to adhere to the rules govening the LNC as outlined in the
What about
Libertarian
you?
National Committee
You didn't
policy
follow
manual.
the rules, you little
And
hypocrite.
Whereas the LNC policy manual at 2.01.6.11 outlines the procedure for
Go
handling
up a
concerns regarding
paragraph.
staff in a professional way. and
Or
was
is it
approved
down a
by the
paragraph?
currently sitting
It's
LNC
right
in
next
June
to what
2021
he's.
unanimously. And whereas Joshua Smith wrote an email to the LNC business list on 12/24/2021, in which he
Richard.
publicly expressed concerns regarding a staff member and demanded their termination publicly prior to bringing the matter before the EPCC, Executive Committee, or the Chair and Vice Chair. Now, therefore, be it resolved that
Richard.
Joshua Smith is hereby censured for violating the Libertarian National Committee Policy Manual at 2.01.6.11.
Kiss me
by publicly
right in
demanding
the
a staff
ass.
member be terminated via email.
Second.
Who seconded? Chris Lucchini figures.
We have a motion as was read and is currently
Did
appearing
Chris
on the
Lucchini ask
screen.
Region 1 about censoring
was
Joshua
seconded.
Smith, Wayne? Was there no private messages or anything?
Are there any objections
Double check before I accuse him of
to
that.
this motion?
I object.
You hear an objection. Was that Mr. Smith?
Correct.
All right. We have objection. Therefore, we are going into debate. Mr. Longstreth, would you like to speak to your motion?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Tonight we are hearing a proposal for the censure of Joshua Smith.
Did
as
he?
passed
Oh my
unanimously
God.
By the EPCC.
Did he write out a speech?
It was then considered by the Executive Committee under
Did
our
he
policy
actually
manual
write
to
out a
invest- or
speech
under
for
our
this
policy
bullshit?
manual to investigate board members. The Executive Committee unanimously agreed, apart from Mr. Phillips, who was not present, that the issue was pressing enough that a meeting of the LNC should be scheduled to hear that motion publicly, and that's where we are today.
The EC is like
The motion
5
is in
people
response
who
to the
are all
action
huffing
Mr.
each
Smith
other's
took on
farts.
December 24th, in which he openly criticized staff and called for retaliatory termination of a specific staff member without following the policies and procedures
private
for addressing
messages
concerns regarding staff. This evening, I will outline for you all exactly
that's
what
how
has
they
brought
did it
us to
last
this
time.
specific point and why censure, as a minimum, is what must be done for
Though
the good of
Alex
our
Flores
staff
promised
and,
he
more
would
importantly,
alert
the
me to
well-being
tell
of
you
our
to look
party.
at private messages
I will
if they
review
did
a
it
brief
that way
history
again
that
by
led us
check.
here, what happened on December 24th through now, and the future, and what the future holds if we fail.
Chris Lucchini never bothered to
At the
ask
beginning
Region
of the
1
LNC term, this body formed
about
the
whether or
Employment
not
Policy
this
and
should happen.
Compensation Committee with myself as
Richard, you
chair,
sound hysterical.
Aaron Adams and Stephen Nikela. Our varied backgrounds and all levels of management across different industries helped us come together and do our best to ensure the right people were hired.
Slow
staff
down a
benefits
little,
could be
Richard.
expanded, and staff concerns were heard.
When
and
you don't
responded
write
to in a
out your
professional manner.
speeches, you tend not
Our
to rush
unofficial
through
goal
them
is to
like
leave our
that.
staff in a better
Maybe you'll
place
do like Joe
professionally than when
Biden
we
and
took
like
our role on that committee.
make a teleprompter.
The EPCC began working in earnest, bringing on a new director and assisting in the search for several staffers, focusing on specific job descriptions for each role and filling out our organizational chart with the
Can
best
anyone
people.
even follow what he's
In
saying?
doing
He's
this, we became
talking so
aware of concerns
fast.
from staff regarding interactions with board members. The EPCC identified that there was no clear policy on email communications, and we felt that if guidelines could be established and a way to address grievances between the board and staff.
No one cares, Richard. No one cares.
That our electronic communications policy be added to our policy manual following the LNC's policy on harassment. The proposal was passed unanimously by all board members at that time, including
I'm going to
Mr.
score
Smith,
this speech.
and has not changed since. Unfortunately, behavior did not improve.
I give it a 1 out of 10.
Excuse me. And concerns from our executive director were then shared with the EPC.
I give it a -1.
Ultimately, it was decided that a nearly identical memorandum with Chair Billio's approval would be shared with LNC members and with staff to help clarify the
Nicholas, he
board
wrote
staff
this in
relations.
advance.
That memo was issued in August and helped clarify workflow for staff and crystallize how
If it
we,
pleases the
as
court,
elected
Richard
leaders,
Longstreth,
communicate
shut
and
the
interact
fuck
with
up.
The memo specifically states, quote, members of staff should neither seek nor receive instructions, permission, or approval for job-related activities directly from members of the LNC, end quote. This makes it clear
oh my
that
God.
our role with staff members should be limited.
think he's making
The
sense?
memo combined with the previously mentioned
Wayne,
policy manual change made clear
am I
the proper
asleep
and professional
and having
behavior
just a weird
that this
dream?
body prefers we have with staff.
Wayne's ignoring me now.
In each policy regarding staff, an LNC member is given a path to address any grievances they have. They may take concerns to the EPCC under 2.01.6.11 or to the chair or vice chair under 2.01.5. I argue that a complaint could also be taken to the executive committee as a whole because they do handle the business of the party between LNC meetings in urgent scenarios, and staff concerns may be considered an urgent scenario. On December 24th, Mr. Smith emailed a public list criticizing a staff member and demanding their immediate termination. Members of this body quickly jumped into action and had the personal identification information removed from the public list, citing professionalism and our established processes for such concerns.
He's awful, isn't he?
Mr. Smith conceded he erred in publicly naming.
What the fuck does he think
This
he's
may have been
doing?
the end, but that same day,
You must
and
well read the
continuing into
telephone
this
book. This
last
is boring.
weekend, Mr. Smith continues to publicly ridicule this staffer, making statements such as, quote, "Oh, they are getting fired, LOL," end quote. No complaint regarding the staffer has yet to be submitted to the EPCC by Mr. Smith. The EPCC did, however, receive 2 separate complaints from staff regarding Mr. Smith's actions. Due to confidentiality, I will generalize some of the concerns shared with EPCC. 1, actions like the one Mr. Smith took create a hostile work environment. 2, our processes were clearly broken and action must be taken if those policies are to mean anything. 3, if we do not respond appropriately, we are suggesting that the action taken by Mr. Smith was somehow an acceptable way to
He's
deal with
just
staff
making
issues.
himself sound like a
The
big
EPCC
douche.
responded to those concerns brought to us by coming up with a response boiled down to just the clear facts in this situation. Our policies were broken and it is not okay. And so a unanimous motion from the EPCC to recommend censure was passed to the executive committee for further consideration. We have a fiduciary duty to care for the party in between conventions as LNC members. Part of that duty involves fostering a place of professional growth within the liberty movement. I urge you all to consider the motion to censure very carefully. Is the National Libertarian Party a professional organization focused on winning elections and becoming a well-oiled headquarters capable of supporting candidates and elections? Or are we a social club where it is okay for a boss to publicly criticize and then launch a campaign to terminate an employee? How would you feel if this was your boss? I hope the unanimous answer at a bare minimum this evening is that the behavior of Mr. Smith broke our policies and was not representative of the professional standards of this party. Thank you, and please vote in favor of censure.
My God, did you take a breath? You're like that dude from Delaware that doesn't blink.
Mr. Smith.
Yeah,
Would you like
due
to
to
speak
some,
to your objection?
Yeah, I'm actually, so.
You didn't write a speech, did you,
some of this is
Joshua?
actually incorrect. I didn't demand anything. I made a legal motion on the business list that had to get seconded and needed the correct amount of votes to pass. I demanded nothing. I wrote out a thoughtful motion. And due to this not being factually correct, I am going to move to table this indefinitely. So, thank you.
Postpone indefinitely, not table.
Hearing no second, your motion fails or dies for lack of second.
You're going to tell me Rod Sepp or Nikayla didn't
Yeah,
second that?
At this time, due to the nature of the legal issues with respect to employment law and that this involves staff, I would like to move that we move into executive session.
Second.
Object.
All right, we have a motion to move into executive session to discuss matters related to this motion as they may apply to legal matters and personnel matters. I heard employment and law. It was seconded and we have an objection. Mr. Lucchini, do you need to speak further to your reasoning?
I do not, thank you.
Mr. Smith, would you like to speak to your objection to moving into executive session? Was that you who objected? Okay.
Yeah, I objected. We move into executive session to talk about staff salaries and the likes. I don't think that there's any need to bring up names of staff members other than what's already been explained in this meeting. There's no reason for us to go into executive session other than to have a secret, meeting that doesn't accomplish anything. We can't make any votes in there. The motion has already been made. That cannot take place inside of executive session per our bylaws for Roner. So it just would make no sense whatsoever for us to go into executive session right now. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. I see Mr. Phillips seeking to be recognized. Is it related to the executive session motion?
No, I'm sorry. I meant to lower my hand and I missed it.
Okay. Is there anyone else seeking to be recognized regarding executive session?
Madam Chair.
Who is that?
This is Ken Molman, and also
I can't see the whole screen. So
I was going to say, and Miss Adams has her hand up too.
Okay, yeah, some people are missing off my screen because of the screen sharing. So, all right, there we go. Thank you. Between Ms. Adams and Mr. Molman, which one was first? I'll leave it to you two to.
I think Miss Adams was first.
Okay. Ms. Adams, you have the floor.
Yeah, I do see potential legal discussion that would need to be had around this. It's difficult to speak to without violating terms of executive session, but I do think there are some potential legal concerns that we should discuss as a board before moving forward with this motion. That's all.
Mr. Molman?
I just wanted to know if the mover intends to go immediately into the legal items that would entitle us to go to executive session. I think it is important that we are as transparent as we can
Don't
be.
even pay attention to her.
So if we go into executive session, that we limit that discussion specifically to the legal items and exit quickly from it. And perhaps consider if there's anything that's not from the legal perspective first, since we have people watching and listening, anything that could be addressed first be handled before going into executive session. Thank you.
Mr. Lucchini, is your hand still left up from earlier?
I'm sorry, I'll lower it. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Phillips? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, I apologize.
Yes, I'd like to know if the specific allegations Mr. Smith made allegedly in his statement are going to be considered part of the executive session. My fear is that in an environment like this, and I understand the employment issue consequences of it.
I've been ignoring you guys to go to the chat. I'm sorry. I've been saying
you get it put in grand jury, and then we can never talk about it again publicly.
I can't believe there wasn't a second.
That's been my persistent
and I'm going to
issue
have
with
to
the LNC
seriously reconsider my support of what I've called the 6 good members.
We sweep everything.
There's a few of them. This is the first bad vote they have made that I'll give them a pass on, like Dustin Nana.
What type of issues are for
and
executive session?
To be fair, Whitney didn't really allow much time, but they could object immediately and say they seconded, or they could remove it, and they're not. But
Mr.
this is a bridge too far for some people who have already had bad votes.
I see
It's
a lot
too
of chat
much.
in the commenter. There are very important legal reasons to go into executive session. Sorry, folks, if you don't agree, but there are. Brush up re-employment law, maybe. But second, the mover of the motion did not specify
but they could have jumped in.
whether
They
this
could-
would include
she didn't give
Mr.
them
Harris
time, but
or
they
not.
could have
And,
jumped in.
Typically, we do that. So I just like that clarification.
If I'm allowed to expand on that, I believe that Mr. Harris should be involved specifically because I've mentioned both legal and staff issues.
What about the legal issues when you guys slandered me publicly? Fuck you guys. You're
Okay, is
such
there anyone else
hypocrites.
seeking to be recognized? Any LNC members seeking to be recognized on this?
And why is
On
a
the matter
staff
of going
member
into
in
executive
chat
sessions?
who is supposed to remain non-political?
Mr. Hagan and then Mr. Nicola.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that if this motion does pass, that you give clear instructions to the guests on how they would, what they should do next and how they would know when we arise out of executive session.
This is
Thank you, Mr. Hagan.
this is just
Nicola?
gross.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Chair. I do think executive session is appropriate this time, so we can go on and speak more openly about potential staff and legal issues.
I am so disappointed in a lot of people right now, but she didn't allow enough time.
Anyone else?
I mean, that is a fact. She didn't allow
All right,
enough
is anyone
time.
else seeking to be recognized on the matter?
But
of
they
moving
could
into
still,
executive
they
session?
could make the
Proceed
motion
to a
right
vote.
now.
Um,
Something that died for a lack
In
of a
all in
second didn't
favor
get
of-
defeated. It's allowed to be brought back up again.
Mr. Wilford, how do you propose we do this again?
If we're just taking a counted vote, we can use the check marks, but if we want an actual roll call vote, I think we should go by name.
Okay, we could even do just hands, or no, yeah, I guess the yeses, the checks and the X's, right? Is what you said? If we're
Yes,
just doing
I would say the
counting.
hands would
Okay.
get, confusing.
Okay, all right, so, at this time, if you are in favor of moving into executive session to discuss the matters related to legal and, confidential staff matters, in executive session, click the green check mark that is in your reactions. If you are opposed to going into executive session, where then those items wouldn't be discussed, click the red X.
As a point of personal privilege, Madam Chair.
Mr. Longstreth.
He's going to complain
yes,
about
if,
the chat.
If the motion does
Oh, I was wrong.
Fail, does that mean that those sensitive topics would be able to be discussed openly? And is that advisable from a legal perspective? I'm just trying to understand.
Ken, you're in chat. Why the fuck didn't you second his motion to postpone indefinitely?
His ability to say what they want to say on this matter.
And John Phillips, you being a wise ass to people in chat, go fuck yourself.
I don't know how to answer that question. It's impossible to stop someone from saying something before they say it in an open session. So people may have to consider that before they speak if we're not in an executive session.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Wilford?
Yes, I'm going to have to ask that we instead just do a roll call vote because I've just realized that it is possible for non-LNC members to react. And I see
Yes.
at least one who is.
Yes, because people, as we've already proven, don't behave themselves. All right, so you're just going to do roll call?
Yes. And it has been requested of me, quite rightfully, that I alternate order. So I'll be going in reverse alphabetical order for this one. I will start with myself, and I am voting yes. Smith.
Again, a yes vote means yes, you're agreeing to go into executive session. A no vote, no executive session, just to clarify.
Sorry, I'm just getting home from the airport from the Georgia convention. I vote no.
Sarwark.
Yes.
Rodsep.
Yes.
Phillips. I'm hearing nothing.
No.
No. Nicola.
Aye.
Yes. Nana.
No.
Molman.
I'm going to vote yes.
Longstreth.
Yeah. No.
No. Lucchini.
Yes.
Yes. Hogarth.
Yes.
Yes. Hewitt.
Yes.
Yes. Hagan.
Yes.
Yes. Ebke.
Yes.
Yes. Bowen.
No.
No. Adams.
Yes.
Yes. And Madam Chair.
What's the count?
It's going to pass either way.
Okay, no vote.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 in favor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 opposed and 1 abstaining.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Ferreira.
I can send out a separate Zoom for all of us to join, and then we can come back to this when we're done. Would that work for you?
So
we have a breakout room.
We could do a breakout room.
Mr. Harris, I think the other night when we did a call, people left and then came back and were just in a waiting room until we came back into session. I don't know if that's the best option, but it was what wound up happening. If someone has a suggestion for something else, I am all ears.
Madam Chair, I believe that we can create a breakout room and limit that to, we can manually assign people to that room, it looks like.
That would mean that staff has to go one by one and put all those people there as opposed to just letting them come back in and go into the waiting room.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was speaking of putting the LNC into the breakout
Oh,
room.
I see. I see.
Just as an option rather than everybody getting bounced out and having to come back in.
Mm-hmm. And who would be doing that? Mr. Harris as the host of the meeting?
I could do that. I believe any of the co-hosts could do it. Ken.
Okay.
So we just want to make sure that only one person is creating only one room.
All
Mr. Moman, would you like to do the honors?
All right, I will create a breakout room. Let's see how this
Thank
goes.
And that room will be, secure in the sense that nobody else can come in it and we can still, it won't be recorded or anything. It'll just be
I believe so, and that's what I want to double check.
Okay.
To be honest, I have not done this, so we will see.
I will of course monitor the live stream so that once we are in the breakout room, I will make sure that it is not streaming from executive session.
I just have to find all of us.
Is this being emailed to us? I'm sorry, I didn't catch the method of the link being sent.
I don't know yet.
I'm trying to push the entire LNC into the room. Give me just a moment.
Dustin, what's going to happen is on your screen here in Zoom, it's going to say you've been invited to a breakout room and you need to accept that invitation from Ken.
Okay, cool. That's a new method of doing it, but it might be more effective. Thank you for letting me know.
Ms. Bilyeu, are we bringing any of the LNC staff in with us?
I believe Mr. Longstress did say that Mr. Harris.
Okay, guys, when they go into their little room here, I actually have to pee. I'm sorry if that's TMI, but we'll come back and discuss. But I wish I could just put a jog on the chair so you could go, ooh, how cute for a few minutes.
That might be because he started the room.
But I got to go pee, so I'll be right back. Or Wayne, you can stick on the headphones and go talk.
Let's see what happens. All right, we're going to try this.
I got to go pee. They'd be really surprised if you just went and sat there and talked.
Madam Chair, point of personal privilege.
Mrs. Adams?
I just want to remind some of our alternates and newer members that alternates are indeed members of this LNC and should be looking for their invitation as well.
Oof. It is angry.
Recording stopped.
I can't hear anybody. I don't know if they can hear me.
All right, well, I'm taking Karen Ann's seat for a moment. And I can't believe that none of the LNC members objected to the fact that they didn't have time to second the last motion.
Are we on the other side now? Where are we at?
Can I still show you in the main room? You need to open up the breakup rooms and hit join on LNC.
And I'm seated in Karen Ann's seat, and I
Otto
have
and
no
Pat,
idea what
I
she's
still
doing with
show
the
you in the
screen
main
here,
room.
so I'm
Josh,
going to give the headset
I
back
still
to
show
her.
you in the main room.
Okay.
That didn't work.
It didn't
And
work. They
Hagen.
can hear you.
Maybe.
Forgive me. What am I supposed to do here?
There should be a link to breakout rooms on your screen, and if you click that, and
Yeah,
join
everyone's
the
saying hello,
LNC
Mr. Harlow.
breakout room.
Oh, I see.
He says hi back.
I don't, point of personal privilege, I don't see my name mentioned anywhere.
Yep, I may have missed you.
Okay, so I'm back. Did they vote?
Thank you.
Did they vote to go to executive session?
This may not have worked. Let's see here.
Huffman, you're the last one.
Hey, somebody asked if you could shut the door.
Oh, no, and Hagen.
And I actually would like you to
Well,
shut
thank
the
you.
door, please.
So I have a box that says breakout rooms
I
in
forgot.
progress.
He looks like Ken hadn't invited you yet, so I think he's doing.
I'm sorry. Trying.
It looks like Ken didn't invite himself. I'm going to invite him.
Did you get Mr. Harris as well? Did you get the rest of us, TJ?
I got Hagen.
Eric Radsep's making excuses. I'm not buying the excuses. I'm sorry.
Hey, TJ, mine says please wait to be assigned.
Ken,
Oh,
Eric,
yep, I missed
there's
Miss
no
Sarwar
fucking
too. I'm so
excuse for
sorry.
this. There's none.
You're gonna pay.
Sorry.
And I'm going to
It's
explain
hard.
why.
There's a lot of people
When they go
There's
into
a lot of
executive
people.
session,
Thank
I'm
you,
going to
Ken.
explain why. Looks like they're almost all gone. Valerie's still there.
Ken, you still may need to add me, sorry.
Rich, TJ still there, so it's going to be a few more minutes.
Richard, Rich, I just added you.
Yep.
Valerie, added you.
I see it, TJ, thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so now I'm going to discuss why they're wrong about it being legal issues. Of course, you can make anything a legal issue if you want to, because I work for lawyers. I know how you can make everything a legal issue. It's not a legal issue for several reasons. He wasn't criticizing her for her behavior as staff, per se. He was talking about threats, implicit threats she publicly made to party members, including George Phillies, that they were violating the code of conduct of the Libertarian Party of Massachusetts. This has nothing to do directly with her job performance, except to the fact that staff is not supposed to engage in internal politics. What that policy manual is for, I was there, I passed it. What that policy manual was for, say Tara was caught stealing pencils on the job. That's what that policy manual was for things that members wouldn't ordinarily know about, of some kind of poor performance when they were on the clock. That is what that policy manual is for. Everyone on the LNC that voted that this is a legal issue is either ignorant or cowardly. And neither of those options are very good. Joshua's criticisms were about her threats to Massachusetts party members, which threats came true when 47 of them of the board, from the board that she's a member of, The only reason Joshua is being censored for this, or attempted to be, is because Whitney is best friends with Tara DeSisto. And as far as them saying Joshua never complained, you want to know why he never complained? Because I've been complaining for a year and nothing has been done. The executive committee never investigated my complaints. The EPCC never investigated my complaints. Now, if you knew that someone else had been complaining for a year and nothing was done, it was swept under the carpet, would you feel any confidence in making a private complaint? No, you wouldn't. I don't care how you feel about Joshua. No, you wouldn't. I've been complaining for over a year about Tara DeSisto, and I'm not the only one. I just don't want to name other names because I don't have their permission. No, this is about Tara, Cameron. Though my general complaint is about any staff member being on a state board. But this specific thing is about Tara. And I've been complaining about her for over a year. When I was on the LNC and I complained privately and nothing was done. And this bullshit, Joshua made this post on the 24th. Look how fast they acted. I complained to Whitney Bilyeu about 2 or 3. I'm going to let you know exactly what they are too, because I'm going to make them public now, because fuck them. Let them sue me. David Brady, you did excellent. So I made multiple complaints in August to the chair for investigation. They've never, ever yet been investigated by the executive committee. Yet they took, 10 days to investigate what Joshua allegedly did? Here are my complaints, and tell me if they're not serious. Chris Lucchini tried to politically bribe a state chair to get them to flip their vote on my suspension. It wasn't a monetary bribe, but what he tried to say is, you give me permission to vote yes on her suspension, and I will make sure a Mises Caucus person gets that seat. Obviously he didn't keep that promise, but that is political bribery worthy of the old parties. For all you prags who think Chris Lucchini is a friend of you, just know he was kissing Mises' ass. That is unethical, and I filed a formal complaint, and Whitney Bilyeu's done nothing. Erin Adams told me to my face that she used confidential information that she got from staff from the EPCC and then used that information to strong-arm other LNC members to vote for my removal because she said, based on allegedly confidential information, that if you don't remove her, half of staff is going to resign. That is so fucking unethical. And the funny thing is, Whitney didn't understand my first complaint, so she asked staff if they ever said anything like that, and they said no. So not only is Erin unethical, well, she's either unethical for using confidential information, or she's a fucking liar for making up confidential information. And she's not the only one who tried to strong-arm the rest of the LNC by saying staff would quit. She's just the only one who violated confidence to do it. But others did it. Susan Hogarth did it. Laura Epke did it. And I made this complaint. I could look up for you. I could probably put on the screen the exact dates. And you want to know the last... Let me try to find this email. The last communication I had from Whitney when she told me it would be resolved. And I stopped bothering following up because it was my 6th follow-up. Let me look up ethics, maybe. Trying to find that email from her. It was back in November. Let me see if I can find it. I don't remember which wording I used in it. I can, I'll eventually, I looked at it just the other day to get the date of November 6th. Mama always has receipts. And looky, Alicia's here. Why is a JC member here when they might be hearing an appeal on this? Alicia seems awfully interested in what's going on in the LNC lately. What are the side bets that she's going to run for secretary again? I place it at 50-50. A JC member should not be in on this. That is highly unethical. I'm still trying to find that email. Whenever I need to find something, I can never find it. And she might have sent it in October. The deadline she gave me was November 6th. Let me search then for November 6th. And I don't remember how she formatted that. I'll find it and I'll show it to you guys eventually, even if I can't find it today. She said at the latest. Let me look for the phrase at the latest. I'm pretty sure she said that phrase. Shit, I can't find this. I don't know how she worded it. I'm going to keep looking because I would love to show you guys. You know I have it. I mean, you guys know me well enough to know I have. I CC'd Ken Molman on it, so maybe if I do an advanced search to subject has the words latest. So it was to, I don't know if I wrote it to Ken or to Whitney. So let me put to Whitney, date within. Oh, it was only searching within the past day, that's why. Maybe status? Was status in the title? Oh, this is pissing me off that I can't find this right now. But we're on break, so that's okay. I send way too many emails, I'll tell you that. And there's so many emails from that period of time because my appeal was going on. So let me look up vice chair. Yeah, David did great. Well, I'll find it one day and I'll show you. It'll be within this week. Status of various complaints. I think I found it. It might have been November 9th, not November 6th. All right, I'm going to show you guys something on screen. You'll see there are 27 emails in here, starting where my original email to her was in August, but I started following up on September 8th. I'm going to show you guys the fucking proof now. Okay, share screen. How am I need to shop. Hold on, let me share. Secondary display maybe? Yeah, here we go. Let me move this chat out of the way. Okay, you see the emails now, so let me pull up the first one. I made several complaints before the suspension motion, and I supplemented one of them afterwards. And lobbying support for the suspension motions, the supporters, and look at the date, September 8th, they still haven't investigated it, including violating the confidentiality of things allegedly told to the EPCC. First, other members were pressured to vote for removal on the grounds that 4 staff members would immediately resign if not passed. I was told by Ms. Adams that this was information told to the EPCC. It is completely inappropriate to weaponize staff. And secondly, there is the violation of confidentiality of staff statements to the EPCC unless they need to be revealed to the full LNC in a proper report. Any of you guys who want a copy of this email, I will send it to you. You need to ride the LNC's ass and ask why my ethical complaints were not investigated from September 8th, yet they investigated this against Joshua in 10 days. Second, Ms. Ebke posted a completely appropriate email that I made in confidence about the fitness of a volunteer for a committee. That same volunteer is the subject of a confidential alert to the officers of a potential danger. The full LNC, including Ebke, was made aware of this complaint, yet she publicly posted this email anyway, potentially exposing me to danger and that volunteer to embarrassment. I made both of these complaints to you, or you were made aware of them, and I later supplemented to add Lucchini because I didn't know about him at the time. And then look, Ms. DeSisto, back in September, I have earlier ones, but you can see this one. Ms. DeSisto, this is back in September. Ms. DeSisto has a history of involving herself in internal politics. I have complained multiple times in the past. This is dated September 8th. And Mr. Harris should have a record of those. I know others have as well, both this term and last term. Most recently, Ms. DeSisto made a very loud and public denunciation of the Mises Caucus at the 50th anniversary event. I asked her to stop as it was inappropriate, and she continued, so I walked out. Miss Elizabeth Brierly and one other lady, Miss Brierly may know her name, were witnesses. Yesterday, I also forwarded a screenshot of a social media comment that was highly inappropriate. As this was made publicly, the Mises Caucus may in fact know and make their own complaints. I have not said anything to them at this point in favor of resolving this internally. I do believe they have a right to know that a prominent staff member is openly hostile to them, but I kept this confidential to give a chance for this to be resolved internally. Oh, I'm such a terrible person. This kind of garbage needs to stop. So you see that I started complaining a long time ago. None of these ethics complaints that I made to the chair for the executive committee to investigate have been investigated yet, but they only took 10 days to investigate Joshua's, and they've ignored mine. And I made them when I was still an LNC member. And then we continue. Whitney acknowledged it. She kept going. She kept going. Look here. It's now 6 weeks out from the first making of these complaints. I kept complaining. I kept complaining. She wanted to have a phone call. I couldn't make it that day. She never tried to reschedule. And then here's the last email on November 8th. I had the date wrong. I apologize. Thank you for this. I expect a report back by the end of this week, if not sooner. That is the last communication I had from her on it, because after 27 fucking emails, I decided I'm not going to beat my head against the wall anymore. And they're going to censor Joshua? Hypocrites. Whitewash tombs. Okay. Man. Let me go back to that meeting. And let me see if I can pull our comments back up, because I moved them off screen. Do you see why I'm pissed off? Can't you see? I don't care what anyone thinks of Joshua. You can see the inconsistencies here, or you are just a dishonest piece of shit. Okay, here's our chat back, but it clears it when I put it back up. It takes a 2/3 vote? I thought it took a majority vote, JJ. I thought we talked about this. You know what? I'm going to make myself even smaller. I'd rather see your chat bigger. You guys don't need to see me. You see me all the time. Let me move this over. I want more of y'all's chat. I'm making myself really tiny. You don't need to see me. Okay, that's about as good as I can make it. Unless you want me to remove myself entirely from the screen. But I know you guys like seeing me spit fire, so it's up to you. I don't care one way or another. It's 2/3, Richard? Give me chapter and verse, baby. Give it to me. Give me chapter and verse. And Richard, while I have your ear, please do not dress like a fucking funeral director, okay? If you don't know the joke on that, I was at Arizona LP this weekend, and they hired a very good parliamentarian, but he dressed like a fucking funeral director. My God, why do you guys have to be so fucking depressing? I dare you, Richard, to wear a hot pink suit or some kind of zoot suit to the next national convention. But don't dress like a pimp. Like, don't make it, like, don't go that far. But hey, you do you. Fly your freak flag if you want to. But I vote for, like, a polka dot or hot pink. Just do not dress in black, please. I beg of you. Not that you usually do. You usually wear gray, I think. Don't you, Richard? Okay, he gave me chapter and verse. Let me look. Let me look here. Now you're talking sexy, Richard. Say Roberts to me, baby. Wayne. Wayne. There's a hole in the bottom of the cup.
We're just about out of Grimmer. Yay.
Then that means you can get me the rest of it.
Why do you drink out of a shot glass rather than a drink?
Because I just got, no, just pour the rest. Okay, hold on. Because I got this from Tucson.
I know, but why don't you drink it out of brandy snippers? Way better.
Yeah, Richard, at least wear a cool tie. But let me tell you, this dude this weekend, I don't remember his name, but JJ knows his name, says he's a really good he was a PRP. Who refused to shake my hand, by the way. But I've become convinced it wasn't because he was rude. I think he was just so taken aback by my appearance. I'm sure, Richard, you remember the first time that you met me. And you probably, like, I don't know, maybe not so taken aback because at the time I wasn't claiming to be a parliamentarian. But I walked up to this dude and I'm like, hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. I've been retained by the Mises Caucus as their parliamentarian. And I held out my hand to shake his. And he looked down at my hand like I was holding out like a dog turd and refused to shake my hand. But I think he was just so taken aback by my appearance. David, I can't come to Minnesota. There are some personal reasons I have to be at the Louisiana convention. Richard knows the reasons why I have to be at the Louisiana convention. But if I can, I might come Sunday. If not, I'm trying to talk DL Cummings into going there on my behalf. But I'll see what I can do. But I have to be in Louisiana at least on Saturday, and Richard knows why. Oh, I didn't look up the citation. After you gave me the porn, Richard, I didn't even look at it. That's terrible. But where does it say 2/3 in here? Oh, suspend the rules. Never mind. I'm a dumbass. Thank you. I've had a lot to drink. Did Carol just misspell champagne in the chat? She did, didn't she? Yeah, I am petty enough with Carol to make fun of her spelling. And somebody posted, Carol, you don't have to keep reminding everyone that you're vile and unhinged. David, I thought you said nothing was going to keep you from Reno. I can scroll up. You said nothing was going to keep you from Reno. Oh, yeah, back then I was doing the lightsabers. I was doing the lightsabers then, Richard, so you probably did think I was a bit of a freaky deek, didn't you? David Brady, you had said nothing. Are you, you don't have to say because, you know, maybe you don't want to put a target on yourself. But if you're Mises, they have some scholarships available, I think. I don't know that for sure. I'm just a foot soldier. I don't want to be in leadership. I've had enough of that shit. Tyler, they could move to suspend the rules and appoint a chair pro tem in one motion. They don't have to do two separate motions. I got to type something in chat here.
This is the way this should be served.
Okay, so.
Sniff it.
Oh, but it's warm.
Right.
It's like somebody peed it out. Now, see, Wayne now heated up the Grand Marnier for me, and said I have to sniff it, but it feels all warm like pee, and it's grossing me out now. It does. It's too warm. It's grossing me out. It feels like pee.
Inhale it as you
No,
do.
I'm not
Just like
inhaling pee.
It's not pee.
No, it's got to cool down because it's grossing me out.
That's
It's grossing me out right now.
that's $4 worth of pee right there.
I'll drink it when it's cool.
You're missing an opportunity.
It feels like warm pee. It feels like something the dog just squirted out.
Well, I'm gonna go change clothes. So
Did she talk about my boobs? Did she? Because if she did, I have to take a drink of it now. Because where, Ryan? Where? I didn't see that. I'm going to have to ask. I just asked, did Carol mention my boobs yet? Oh, you can see it on screen.
we're still in executive
Ooh,
session.
yeah. Carol mentioned my boobs.
Again?
No, over the years again. No, in chat. Remember we had that bet at the beginning? But I still can't take a chug of this. It's too whiffy.
Well, that's the whole purpose of it.
So now the whole discussion is just devolved into my boobs. There's nothing wrong with exercising your individual rights to share your boobs. The guys are on my side. They're like,
Of course
hey.
it would be.
Oh my God, no. The smell of that is terrible.
Yeah, drink it like water.
No. It's all, Wayne, you
Not through your nose.
my whole audience is witnessing our little bickering here.
Oh, that's the whole purpose of putting it in a sniffer.
Okay, guys, while we're on break, now let me shamelessly grift. No, I'm not going to show you my boobs. That would be, A, with Wayne's permission, which he hasn't given, and it would be on OnlyFans where I could make buku bucks, because if I'm going to show my boobs, I'm going to make hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. that we're not gonna go for fivers on that one. However, absent showing you my boobs, super chats are always welcome. You are not getting this content anywhere else. And the dog's barking. And all super chats go to my campaign. So if you would like to see me continue to trigger Carol Moore, oh, she probably wouldn't even secretly pay, Diana. She'd probably be my biggest patron. I should start $1,000 a month. She doesn't have that much money. What amount of money do you think like she safely has? And I'll start a Patreon tier of that and say you get like a boob shot, and I bet you Carol signs up. Just bet you. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, all super chats matter. If you want me to annoy Carol Moore for the next 2 years, then, and hey, and I trigger the LNC, I guess, contribute to my campaign. It costs a lot to run for LNC. If I showed you the calendar of events I'm going to, I could probably read it out. There's some confidential information on there. That's why I can't share with you, but I could probably read it out. And then there's a bunch I'm trying to convince DL into going to. And I'm looking over at the chat here now. Oh boy, it's ridiculous. Let's see here. LNC 2022 LNC run calendar. Okay, I'm sharing with y'all my calendar now. Once I not hoped for, I don't have tickets to them all though. This is what I'm hoping for, and Wayne doesn't even know this yet, and he's in the room, so he's probably going to freak out. Close your ears, Wayne. Alaska, April 16th. I already went to Arizona. California, February 19th. I'm doing Colorado, March 12th. I'm doing Florida, March 26th through 28th. I already went to the Hawaii one. I'm probably going to Indiana. No, I'm not. March 4th through 5th is Pennsylvania. I can't do Indiana. I need to change that to see if DL can do. I'll have to change that. Kansas, 23rd through 24th. I'm thinking about that. I think I can do it. April 8th, Maryland. April 23rd, Massachusetts. March 13th, Michigan. February 19th, Missouri. Maybe Montana, April 10th. New Hampshire, the end of this month. North Carolina on March 6th, right after Pennsylvania. Oregon, May 15th. Pennsylvania, May 5th. South Dakota, April 23rd. Tennessee, March 19th through 20th. Texas, April 9th through 10th. Virginia, February 18th. Washington, March 25th through 26th. Wisconsin, April 30th through the 31st. So those are all the conventions I'm planning on going to. I don't yet have the money to go to all of them. So that's why I say this is my wish list. If you'd like to see me at all of these conventions, please either contribute to my GoFundMe or Super Chats. Now, the ones I'm trying to talk DL into going to, some of these are on the same weekend, so he would have to pick one. But the ones I have on my list to talk to him about are Arkansas, Connecticut, Iowa, Kentucky, Minnesota, Mississippi, Nebraska, New Jersey, and there was one I said I had to bring up to him. I forgot what that is. New York, Utah. Those are the ones I said Washington, the 25th through the 26th of March. Same day as you, Ryan. If I said it wrong, it's because I had too much to drink. So if you'd like to see me or DL at any of these conventions, I don't have the funds yet to do it all. And O'Donnell, As far as DL being my unofficial assistant secretary, here's my position on that. I had somebody who volunteered for that last term. If they would still like to do it, because they volunteered right before my fraudulent removal, they have first dibs. But I don't mind having a whole stable of unofficial assistant secretaries because I think we need to build our bench. And I actually think DL would be a fantastic national secretary. Not running against me, so don't get any funny ideas, Mr. Campaign Manager. But next term, I think DL would be an excellent national secretary. So, but I will train anyone in the national secretarial functions, whether I agree with them or not, has nothing to do with caucuses. We need to build our bench. Now he wants to go out. He's saying, Wayne, open the door. Wayne. In about 2 seconds, he's going to be outside the door. And he's going to go, Wayne, open the door. I heard that DL has a split personality and could make me sound like Mary Poppins. That's what I heard. So, yeah, I am in really big fundraising mode to make all of these conventions and send DL to whichever ones he can make. I don't expect all of that of him. That's my wish list. I sent it to him earlier today, and he's in chat, and he laughed at me. I'm just going to pick up my food while we're waiting. They're going to be forever, aren't they? They're going to be forever. So I hope I explained why this wasn't legal, because it has nothing to do with her job on the job. It has to do with her conduct outside. But anyway, I'm severely, severely disappointed. Forget about the executive session vote. There he is. He's asking you to open the door again, Wayne.
There he goes.
Okay, the executive session vote I didn't like. But I'm not like as ass-mad about that as I am about all of those folks failing to second the motion to postpone indefinitely. Even though Whitney didn't give enough time, and it probably passed before anyone went by, before anyone realized what was happening. I can kind of understand the executive session, even though I don't agree. But not the failure to second Joshua's motion. Yeah, I should do that, David Brady. I did that. I told you at the Castle Rock, with the Castle Rock Town building, where I said, it smells like coercion in here. Right, Liberty Dad, that's it. Everything Josh presented is her public behavior that violated the public policy manual. None of it was private. And as you know more than anybody else, they violated that same policy manual when it came to me. Richard is such a hypocrite. But at least he voted right about the chat. And he voted right about executive session. I know, it's ridiculous that it's an executive session. LNC's a bunch of little bitches. But Dustin Nana voted right on them all. But he didn't second the motion to postpone. But I have a feeling he didn't even hear it. That went by really fast.
No, he missed the opportunity.
Okay, I'm taking a look at the LNC chat now because I've been ignoring it. She's just ranting about something Dave Smith said. I don't even get into that. It's stupid. Oh, Dennis Beatty, the apologist for authoritarians, is in chat, and he doesn't have the facts right, but I don't bother to correct him anymore. Thank you for the super chat, Stephen. Okay, so business is the 30th on Wisconsin. Gotcha. I had I said the 31st, didn't I, instead of the 1st? I forget which months have 31 days. I'm just taking a look at the chat. Sorry, I'm a little quiet. Nothing interesting, really. Dennis Beatty being hypocritical is about the most interesting thing. Everyone else is just going on about YouTube shows that I haven't watched, and I really don't care to. Oh boy, this is taking a long time. But I don't want to leave you guys hanging, but if it takes too much longer, we'll probably stop the stream and start it over again, unless there's something y'all want to talk about. Okay, this is now cool enough to drink. Man, he like made this just way too much. Way too hot. I can't get past the smell. Where's my shot glass? This is terrible.
That's the whole purpose of brandy sniffer.
Yeah, I don't like it. Somebody let me know if Beatty there, Dennis Beatty, says he agrees he wants to start over and asks me to unblock him, because I told him I would, but I can't keep watching that chat. Hey, Julian. Yeah, we could play chess. What else could we do? Okay, I'm going to be unpopular here. Kate Nicole. I actually don't agree with Waldenberger being removed from all committees. He should be removed from committees that he fucked up on, like the newspaper or newsletter, whatever you called it, committee. But I've been the subject of overly broad removal motions, so I would be a flaming hypocrite if I thought it was okay for other people when I didn't think it was okay for myself. Because the LNC brought allegations that I allegedly misbehaved on the LNC, which I didn't do, but at least that was the allegation. And they tried to remove me from all of my committee assignments, which had nothing to do with the allegation. So if I'm going to be a principled person and a consistent person, I can't support Waldenberger being removed from committees that he didn't misbehave on. I'd be a big hypocrite. And I just won't do that. Justin Carmen, that's such a great point. Justin Carmen says, I find some great irony in the fact that everyone literally lost their shit about Josh posting that email calling for a staffer to be fired on Christmas Eve, but the hearing for censure falls on Martin Luther King Day. That is frickin' ironic, isn't it? Now, Kate Nicole, maybe he has been. Everyone can't see this. Kate Nicole says Waldenberger has been misbehaving repeatedly for a long time, but specifically on other committees or in his personal life. I'm like very ruthlessly consistent. If he's been misbehaving on other committees, then yeah, he should be removed from them. But the only committee that I'm personally aware of that he was misbehaving on is the newsletter one. But I'm confessing my ignorance. Yeah, and when you're a representative, Kate Nicole, that's what you have to do. People have questioned me a lot, and I do actually I can't say I regret the vote because I did what my Region 1 members wanted me to do, but I still would have voted differently if it happened today. A lot of people ask me about the Arvin Vohra censor vote in light of what happened to me. Yes, having bad things happen to you does give you a different perspective on what things happened in the past. However, my region overwhelmingly said to vote for censure. So there is no way, or actually they said to vote for removal. There's no way that I could have ever voted no because I would have been betraying my region, but I could have abstained. And I think if it were to happen again today and I were Region 1 again, I would have abstained and risked being removed. But I never would have gone explicitly against my region. I never could have voted no. My region was overwhelmingly in favor of removal. Unlike Chris Lucchini, you guys want to know the dirty little secret? Only one state explicitly voted yes for my removal, and guess what state that was? New Mexico. And guess who cast that yes vote in New Mexico? Chris Lucchini, who's the chair of New Mexico. Oh, what a coincidence. Yeah, Charles, it was a really weird time then. I mean, I regret my vote on Arvin in a way. I did follow the will of my region, but today I would have voted abstain, and if I ever see Arvin in person, I will tell him that. But I could never have voted no because I would have been betraying my region. But only one state in my region voted yes, and that was Chris Lucchini himself. It was a Region 1 state. He tried to bribe to switch their vote, and unfortunately, he talked that chair into saying, vote your conscience, which is not an explicit yes. 5 states were an explicit no. 1 state was an explicit yes. I think there were 3 that were explicit abstains, and that puts us up to 6-9. And 2 were vote your conscience. He voted explicitly against the will of this region. And I'm telling you, and again, I haven't discussed this with the Colorado board. I'm just one vote on the Colorado board, so don't take this as gospel. But if Chris Lucchini is running again for Region 1, I don't want Colorado to be in Region 1. I do not want to risk having that absolute scumbag represent us again. I would rather us be regionless. Now, I don't think the rest of the Colorado board agrees with me, but that's my feelings. I'll tell you my feelings. My feelings is fuck that guy. I will not risk being represented by him again, ever. But it's not my decision. It's the decision of the entire board. But you know what my vote will be. To be honest with you, and I've told everyone this, I want to leave Region 1 because there's some states in Region 1 that we are just not compatible with. I'm not going to call out any states here. I want to join Region... What's the region with Florida? 2. I want to join Region 2. I want to be in the same region with Florida. We are most ideologically aligned with Florida. Again, this is me being rogue. I haven't even discussed that with the Colorado board. I've discussed it with the Colorado chair because I'm sleeping with him. But other than that, I haven't discussed it with the rest of the board, and they probably will not agree with me. But there's some states in Region 1 that we are just too different from here in Colorado. And I don't think it's a good marriage. And it's too big. 11 states is too much. Okay, did anyone see if Norman Beatty asked me to unblock him? I don't want to go look back. I would love to be in a... Wayne... Colorado State Chair. What about being in a region with New Hampshire? Yeah, but Sarwark is there. But other than that...
How much influence does he have?
Sarwark? Not right now, but the danger is there. O'Donnell, kick Sarwark out of New Hampshire and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Tyler, there is a competitor to Chris, but Chris has the incumbent advantage. And he's a silver-tongued devil. He sweet talks people. You don't know how long it took me for people to understand that I was telling the truth, that he was a snake. Wayne didn't believe he was a snake right away.
No, and I'm really perceptive.
But we want to be in a region with states we ideologically agree with, like Nevada, which I never thought I'd say in my fucking life. Florida.
Nevada's with us.
There's too many. There's too many states in Region 1 we don't agree with. And to be honest with you, I'm going to say something really controversial here. And New Hampshire might get mad at me for saying this, so I'm going to say something that might get New Hampshire mad. I have the feeling, and I can't say all of the board of Colorado agrees with me. As you can tell, I'm a rogue on the Colorado board like I am on the LNC. I have the feeling that Colorado is the biggest state in Region 1. Why is our vote equal to states that have like 1/15 of the membership we do? I think it should be proportional voting based upon the number of national members that you have. And I'm resentful of Colorado having an equal vote with tiny states that get 2 delegates when we have 35 delegates. That doesn't seem fair to me. I want to be part of a region in which there's proportional representation. And if we were in a region with Florida, they'd get a bigger vote than us. Florida's bigger than us. But it doesn't matter. I think Colorado is being taken advantage of. Oh, see, O'Donnell says in Region 8, the votes per delegate, so Colorado would be fairly represented there.
Region 8 includes what states?
Well, right now it's like New Hampshire, New York, Rhode Island, all up there, Maine, Vermont.
Well, most of those are small.
Yeah, we would dominate their ass.
No, not New York, but
Not New York. No, New York's bigger than us. But yeah, no, we want proportional. I want for Colorado, I can't say we. I want for Colorado proportional representation. Sorry, Wyoming, but I don't think it's fair that you who get 3 delegates has the same vote in Region 1 as Colorado, who has 35 delegates. I just don't think that's right. Wayne's not even agreeing with me, but that's what
not yet. I haven't thought it through.
Us and Washington are very close in size. We're the 2 anchor states of Region 1, and there is no reason that Washington and Colorado have the same weighted vote as the smaller states. No, I'd rather us be regionless. Look what happened. We get like Lucchini, who convinces the small states to side with him. How is that right?
You know what's funny about that whole thing is that many of those state chairs wouldn't take my call when I was talking to them.
Well, it's small states. They're busy. I don't think it was anything intentional, but no, I'd rather us be regionless. We are not.
They didn't want to be influenced from outside.
Oh, that could be, and you're my husband. I mean, I'm trying to be fair, but I want Colorado to have the influence it's entitled to. We're the birthplace of the Libertarian Party. Simple as that. I'm sorry. My motivation's always Colorado. You know that. What's it? Trump was America first. I'm Colorado first. Make Colorado great again.
When the fuck are we going to get back into...
I don't know. What the fuck are they talking about? There isn't that many legal issues. I wonder if Tara's in that meeting. I saw her talking in chat.
They only have one issue, and that's whether to censor jobs.
No, well, what the fuck? I don't know what they're doing. They're hoping everyone leaves.
There should be a 5-minute...
Diana, we don't have enough members to be our own region. You need 10% of national members. I wish we had enough to be our own region. I'm very unhappy with the regional arrangement. I think regions should be. See, everyone's asking why you're not on stream, Wayne.
It says I have to create an account. And I did, and I still can't get in.
Let me see something. I don't know how to do that here. Oh, I know what to do. But you'll probably do feedback. Hold on, I don't know what I'm doing.
Remember, I created an account, Harless Real Estate Rants.
Yeah, but no, I'm not talking about a YouTube account. Hold on here. What? I don't know what I'm doing.
You created an account for me?
No, I'm not doing it. Here, okay. Okay, I'm going to send you a link, I think. Copy link. It didn't copy. Okay, copy link. So I'm going to send this to you via, you want it on Facebook Messenger? Or do you want it on email? Okay, hold on. I need to switch. Oh, email. Okay, hold on. I'll send you an email, and we'll see if this works. But you got to, like, mute yourself when you're not talking, because otherwise you're going to... We're going to see if we can get Wayne on here. Now, Wayne, listen, Wayne's not as radical as I am, so please forgive him. All right. Somebody asked me the status of the Radical Caucus. Oh, my God. It's a dumpster fire. I'm a member of the Radical Caucus, so I can talk shit about them. They're not what they used to be in 2016. My primary caucus is Mises. I make no bones about that. But my secondary caucus is Radical Caucus, and I made no bones to them that the only reason I'm there is to stop them from talking shit about Mises, because I think it's the stupidest decision that they ever made, and they should be natural allies with the Mises Caucus. But I can't even go to the Radical Caucus meetings anymore. They are dumpster fires. If you ever go to one of their board meetings, it's the most unprofessional, just yell fest. Even, I don't think Pat Ford's in my script. Oh, he's in executive session right now, so he won't be in my stream. Are you trying to come on? No? I sent you the link. Wayne doesn't know how to, he don't know what he's doing. He's a Luddite, man. He don't know what he's doing.
Hang on, I'm doing business right
Okay, he's doing real estate business right now. So I forgot what I was saying. I completely forgot what I was saying. I've drank way too much. Wow, you can have an interview chat. I didn't know that. Carol Moore is, okay, here's the dumbest question I've ever seen in chat. You can see it on the screen. Carol Moore says, who is MCLP Chair Brandon Slayton? Well, let me guess, Carol. He's chair of a Libertarian Party with the initials of MC, and his name is Brandon Slayton. And I know who he is. He's Maricopa County, Arizona Chair, Brandon Slayton. Like, that's not too difficult to figure out, Carol. All right. I actually agree in a way with Jackie with something. I don't agree with Jackie Perry much, but she said you can't dox somebody who's chosen to involve themselves in electoral politics. You have no right to privacy once you decide you want to rule over other people. I agree up to a point. Something is going on in their personal life right then that's related to their leadership role. No, you can't dox somebody for that. But if there's somebody that's totally unrelated or a portion of their life that's totally unrelated, yeah, you can dox them. And Carol Moore has doxed me by looking up my ex-husband that I was divorced from for like 5 years before I ever got into politics, and he doesn't even live in the same state as me. Good night, Julian. So I think that is doxing, but up to a limited point, I agree with Jackie. The portions of your public life or things that really touch your public life, they're not private anymore once you decide to be a public figure. That's why I don't think public figures, like, I don't believe in defamation laws to begin with, but when you're a public figure, even if I believed in them, it's very, very difficult to prove defamation when you're a public figure. Oh, Donna, we just got only decrim psilocybin in Denver, not legalized. Rochelle, nothing has happened. The LNC's been engaged in a circle jerk in private, thank God. JJ, you can't go. JJ, you cannot go. You're always for all of the streams. My world will collapse if you go, JJ. So, speaking of running, O'Donnell spoke about running. I'm running for town council. Actually, right now, I filed my paperwork already. I haven't gotten my petition signatures yet because you're not allowed to do it until, August 1st? And you only need like 35. Yes, JJ is being detained. He's not a libertarian. We're allowed to aggress against Republicans, aren't we? I heard that. I move. I move that we be allowed to aggress against JJ. Do I have a second? My God, what are they talking about? Can you imagine the screenshots of Whitney's face that I'm missing during this executive session? I bet you Joshua is doing some real zingers that I'm missing. But Joshua was very restrained, actually, the first part of this meeting. Don't you think, Wayne? Wayne?
I'm busy right now.
Oh, he's doing real estate. He's being a bummer.
I'm doing real estate right now.
Dennis, I haven't been paying attention. If you asked me to unblock you because you wanted to start over, I didn't see it. And I'm not scrolling up because I'm lazy. So if you did, send it to me privately or tag me or something because I didn't see it. I'm doing my own live stream right now. If you'd like to come participate, hey, oh, they can't read here. I'm gonna put this here. I'm putting, all right, we might get an influx, maybe not though. Because I'm sure Carol Moore will bitch that I'm promoting myself, which I am. I'm shamelessly whoring myself. I keep thinking the people in that chat can hear me, but they can't. Okay, Joshua's probably, yeah, he is probably getting in some zingers. I wonder if Joshua's secretly recording the stream. That's what I would have done if I were him. I would be secretly recording the stream, and if it wasn't really about legal issues, I'd release it. There's been plenty of LNC members that have done that in the past. What are they going to do? Remove him 5 months before convention? They'll make a martyr out of him. It'd be guaranteed vice chair if they remove him. All right, guys. So while we're waiting, if you go to tinyurl.com/pink flame merch, MERCH, because I'm drunk, you can get this shirt. You need this for Reno, and you can help this show. It says the Reno Reset, you'll lose your seat, and you'll be happy. So please, everyone, go to my store.
And you'll be happy.
Yes, that's the best. I almost asked, Top Lobster did this shirt for me. I almost asked him to say, you'll lose your seat and you'll like it. But he liked what he had to say because apparently it's like a reference to some pop culture thing that I'm not aware of, which is weird because I'm usually aware of all the pop culture. So please go, let me go over to chat here and I'll type it into the stream. Please go and get a shirt, but this is the one I really wish you would get and wear to Reno. But there's a lot of good ones. There's the Noda shirt with Sarwark's face on it. And I'm making a Be Well shirt. I have my decorum. I've got grab the pine, get the quills. So yeah, please go to my store and buy some shit. What did I say now?
Grab the pine, get the quills.
Yeah. I like that one. It's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Daniel Lutz has that shirt. I should do a shirt with that picture of Whitney on it, but she'll probably sue me for like copyright or something, like a statist. Yeah, Carol and Dennis reeing is pretty funny. But I'm going to be doing the Be Well shirt soon. So let me see what else I can whore to you guys, since I have a captive audience that I can just totally whore off to you. Let me find something here. Let me find my channel and find some links. Boo, Joshua being a good LNC member. Boo. Okay, let me find some more links to spam you guys with. Since flock to Florida. Oh, I don't want that one. We are already... Okay. There's my merch. Okay, here's the other thing I needed to spam you guys with. If you want me to come to these conventions or to send DL even though he hasn't agreed yet. Notice I said yet. He hasn't agreed yet. This is my re-election campaign funds. Did it go up there? Yeah, it went up there. I super, super appreciate any donations you can give. And any campaign donors can get a campaign accountability spreadsheet that shows exactly how the money is spent, because I'm completely transparent with my donors. Yes, Dave Davis, they are still in executive session. Apparently they don't know how to please each other. Was that the last of the booze?
Nope.
Oh, good, because I'm almost done with this. No, not yet.
You're going to fall out of your chair if you do.
I know, I'm already... Wait, I heard something. Did somebody else hear something? I heard like a ding-ding-ding. Did you?
What?
I heard like a little chime, like people were coming back into the meeting or something. Did I get super chat? No. I heard...
That was me. I just joined.
Oh, that... I'm such an idiot. Okay, I got to bring Wayne on now. Hold on.
Good evening, everyone. Wanted to let you know that the LNC has decided to rise from executive session.
Oh, no, they're coming back now.
People should be making their way back over to this main room very shortly.
Okay, they're coming back now. See, you're echoing, Wayne. We can't do this.
Yeah, I believe the chair said 1024.
All right, I'm removing you, Wayne, because we're back.
There you go.
So we're
Yeah,
at a
we're
5-minute
back.
break.
I threw you out.
Yes.
So.
All right. Thank
I
you very
did.
much.
But I did.
Where's the mute? Oh, here it is.
Never mind.
We're making
No,
our way
we're
back
back.
into
We
the
can't
main
do
session. For those
two
watching,
hosts. It's
but,
too much.
The LNC members are taking a 5-minute break, so
For a
there's
break.
about 4 minutes of that remaining.
Oh, there's 4 minutes of break remaining. Come back on, Wayne. You can come on for 4 minutes. Come back on for 4 minutes.
4 minutes? Or
Yeah,
in 4 minutes?
No, for 4 minutes. They're on a recess. I'm going to throw you out after the 4 minutes.
You can't do that.
You want to bet? But we'll talk while they're on break. Once they come back, I got to throw you off. Okay. All right. Let me put you here. Assign. Right. Hold on. It's not working. There you are. There you are.
Am I on?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
See, we're echoing.
Facebook, or I'm sorry, YouTube keeps telling me to create an account, which I've done like 10 times in order to participate, but it never takes. But then again, I'm a technological idiot because I'll be 60 here in another week. So I have to rely on my wife for technological experience.
All right, I'm just going to let you guys talk to Wayne for these 4 minutes, then I'm going to throw him off.
That's really rude.
Well, that's me. I'm drinking. Can you see the chat?
I can't hear anybody. I can't
No,
see
because they're
anybody.
not talking. You need to look at the chat.
Where?
Oh, my God.
Is that the chat?
Hold on.
Ah,
There you go.
Mr. O'Donnell or Miss O'Donnell, I don't know which. Shut the door. Door shut. Do you have any further instruction?
I'm having you host this meeting for the next 3 minutes, and that's it. You're going to kill my algorithm. So why don't you tell everyone how good Richard used to be and what a dick he is now?
You know, Richard, when he was here in Colorado, he did a wonderful job. And I actually gave his nomination speech for the regional representation for Region 1. I was a big fan of his. Not so much anymore. But at that time, I was very much in favor. And Faf D, what is your favorite rifle? Well, frankly, I have a Browning X-Bolt Ultralight. I like that. I used to have a Weatherby 340, and it was too hard to handle. It's too long and too heavy. So that's why I really like the Browning that I have now. Read the words, Wayne. I'm not sure what that means, Shannon. Please elaborate.
Well, O'Donnell had a comment for you.
I'm looking for it.
It's right after Shannon.
All right. We
We're back.
are back in
Right
regular
now.
session.
Bye-bye.
Mr. Wilford, when you get a chance, can you please call roll again?
Yes, give me 1 second and I'll a little table copied. Okay, same order as last time.
Sorry about
Adams.
Present.
Vest.
I threw him off.
Present.
Oh, you have to go back.
Bowen.
Then.
Here.
Ford.
Or you could just go to my
Here.
YouTube channel.
Epke.
Here.
Hagen.
Here. And do we also need to restart the recording?
Oh yes. Thank you.
Whitney does not look pleased.
Recording in progress.
All right, cool. I am recording as well.
Whitney looks like her dog shit in the corner
So
of the
just
room.
to recap real quick for the recording, Adams, Vest, Bowen, Ford, Epke, and Hagen are all present. Hewitt. Vieira.
Present.
Hogarth.
Here.
Dassing.
Here.
Lucchini. Flores. Longstreth.
Here.
Molman.
Here.
Nana.
Here.
Paul.
Here.
Michaela.
Present.
Sexton. Phillips.
Here.
Oh boy.
Buffman.
Huh? Buffman? Buffman,
Present.
like an F. Okay, Buffman.
Present.
Thank you. Rodsep.
Here.
Sarwark.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
I am here. And yep. So let me do a quick count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 16, and then 3, 2, 1. Okay, there are 15 members and 6 alternates present, with 16 of the seats filled. And there are 3 members and 2 alternates absent, with 1 of the seats not represented.
So we have 17 voting.
We have 16 voting.
Because
Lucchini Flores did not answer.
Lucchini and Flores both did not answer. Okay. All right. Mr. Smith.
Can you put me at the back of the queue? Sorry.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mr. Phillips.
To be perfectly honest, I feel like any further discussion of this matter will just embarrass ourselves and our party, and I call the question.
Object.
All right, the question has been called.
Why
There is
hasn't
objection
Phillips
to the
cried and
question.
flounced out of the room yet? Because
I
that's
haven't
his
been given an
MO
opportunity
now.
to speak to my own censure, so.
Yeah, John Phillips, you little bitch. You whiny little bitch.
That's fair, and I would withdraw. I did not think of that. My apologies, Mr. Smith.
You don't think a lot.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Vest, I had you on the list from earlier, but I see your hand is not up now.
No.
Okay. Mr. Molman?
Yes. So coming out of the executive session, I am in a position where now that we're out, we can talk about the policy manual in the terms should versus shall. That Roberts does have a differentiation between those two words. That Mr. Smith is a member of the board and has the right to make a motion. That the EPCC is subordinate to the LNC. It is a creation thereof. And that a higher level board always has the right to take action. His motion was not out of order. The National Committee does have the right under the bylaws to direct the chair to do things, which that motion effectively would have been. And the motion died for a lack of enough seconds anyway. So barring additional information, specifics around legal items that we discussed in executive session, I will be voting no unless this is moved to be tabled to another time, at which time the legal questions unanswered are answered. And that is where I stand. Thank you.
Mr. Nikela?
Thank you, everyone. I just want to say it was a productive executive session, I think. It definitely opened my eyes to one fact. One of the items that the EPCC did ask for has, I don't believe, been satisfied to my complete satisfaction. So I'll be using my fiduciary duty on the EPCC to make a motion to the list in that regard. And I think that that will be the most appropriate action moving forward. Thank you.
Mr. Smith?
Yeah, so first off, I want to start off with saying that I think this whole meeting is a sham. You guys know that already. I've been very clear about it. You guys violated, many of you, maybe all of you, violated the same exact section of the policy manual when you brought up the issues with Karen Ann Harlos to the public list. And now you're using that as a political tool to beat me over the head with a censure, which is essentially a slap on the wrist, without getting any of the information that you needed to make sure that what you were doing was correct or legal. This is a toothless motion that means absolutely nothing to me. I want to let you guys know that everybody who supported this motion, worked on this motion, brought this motion to boards and committees is a coward, and you're on 4.5 months notice. We will see you in Reno. Thank you.
Mr. Molman, your hand is still up, or is it up again?
That's an artifact, sorry.
Joshua had it exactly right.
Right.
He was
Is there anyone
nicer
else
than I
speaking-
thought he would
seeking to
be,
be
but he
recognized
said
on
exactly
this
what
motion?
he needed to say.
I am, Susan.
Oh, shut up,
Hogarth?
Susan. You think you're going
I'd
to
just
get
like to point out
reelected.
that Mr. Molman brought this up, so I thought I would reiterate there is no legal issue with the motion of censure. The way he stated what he said made it sound like
Shut
he
the
was concerned
fuck
that
up,
there
Susan.
was
You are
legal issues around the
delusional
motion
enough
of
to think you're
censure.
going to be
The
reelected.
question is
You're
not
going to lose so
whether
fucking
we're
bad,
doing-
and I'm going to collect your tears
we
in a
should do
shot
anything.
glass and mix them with Grand
There is-
Marnier and
There
chug
is no
them.
question of legality with a motion of censure. The questions of legality were all around employment issues.
You are no radical,
Hogarth.
Susan Hogarth. You are a radical in name only and are an embarrassment to the radical
Seeing no
caucus.
further discussion on this matter, there is a motion on the floor. It
Fuck
was
off.
seconded. Mr. Molman?
I'm sorry, I was just giving
I
a
feel
thumbs
like
up reaction.
flashing
Ms.
my
Hogarth.
boobs to her.
Thank you.
She's such a scumbag. To think I once called her friend,
Seems to me that
I want
we
to
now
throw
are
up
going
in
to
my own
proceed
mouth.
to a vote on the motion.
Point of order,
Sure.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Herrera?
Can you find out if Hewitt's back so I know if I'm voting on this or not?
Mr. Hewitt, are you present?
They wouldn't let him, Justin. But he needs to raise a point of
Turn
order.
his camera on, but not his
The
mic.
weakness of Joshua is he's not as versed on Roberts as he should be. Joshua should bring
There he
a
is.
point of order. But he should
I believe
immediately.
Mr. Smith asked to be put at the end of the queue, so he should still be in the queue.
I'm going to put this in chat.
Mr. Smith just spoke.
Oh, my apologies.
All right. Any objections to proceeding to a vote on this motion? Seeing nobody else seeking to be recognized to discuss it.
He did much less than last.
All right. Mr. Wilford.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, I was struggling to unmute.
Yes, Ms. Adams.
I would move to table this motion.
Table is incorrect.
Real quick.
It's a
the
motion
point
to
of-
postpone indefinitely.
Never mind. You said table, not postpone. My apologies.
And Mr. Wilford, can you do me a favor and tell me the effect of that?
So a motion to table takes this immediately away from the body. There is no definite time to which it comes back, but at any time someone can move to take it from the table.
Okay. And it's a majority vote?
It is a majority vote, and I don't believe it's debatable, but I have Rona right here if you want me to check it.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for too.
Madam Chair, point of information quickly while he looks that up.
Mr. Phillips?
I need to let Mr. Buffman take my seat at the table. I am entirely too ill to continue this meeting. I apologize.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Please
Well,
get well
wishes, Mr.
soon.
Phillips.
Mr. Buffman, are you here?
I sure am.
Okay, thank you.
Point of information.
Mr. Lucchini?
So if this motion is tabled and then this meeting is adjourned, what is the status of the motion?
May I give a crack?
Please do, Mr. Wilford.
So at the time that this is tabled and then that our meeting is adjourned, it can be brought up at a later meeting or on the email list at any time. I was actually going to suggest that it might be an easier motion to just move to adjourn. It would have the same effect.
Point of order, tabling is not the correct motion here. It's a postponing motion. And it would be postponed indefinitely.
I actually believe Mr. Smith is correct on this. I believe I made the wrong motion, and it should be a motion to postpone.
Would it be postponed indefinitely or postponed to a time certain?
Could be either, right?
I think it's just indefinitely. I don't think it's a time
Yes.
certain.
You can do either, so we need to know which one.
Indefinitely.
Second, if it's needed again.
Okay, so postpone indefinitely.
Wait, point of parliamentary inquiry. I'm unclear on the other than setting a time certain on the effectual difference between time certain and indefinitely. I don't intend to kill this motion. I intend to postpone this motion until some members can have certain questions answered.
May I take a crack at that, Madam Chair?
Mr. Wilford?
Yeah, so if you do it to time definitely, it will automatically come up at that time. If you postpone indefinitely, it does not stop us from bringing it up on the email list or at a future meeting, but it will not automatically come up. Someone will have to make that motion.
Point of order.
Mr.
I wanted to double check.
Hold on, please. Mr. Richard Brown is in the meeting. Can we get him unmuted?
I can clear up my point of order too. You can postpone to time specific or postpone to after a certain event, which in this case would be seeking whatever answers need to be sought. So,
Mr. Brown.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. you've been discussing three different motions. There, in Robert's rules, there is no motion to table. There is a motion to lay on the table, but that's designed to set something aside temporarily during a meeting to take up something else more pressing and then pick it back up before the end of the meeting. That's what it's designed for. As far as the motion to postpone, definitely would be to postpone it until the next meeting or until the special meeting. You cannot postpone it beyond the next meeting, and it would have to be a meeting that occurs within a quarterly time interval. The motion to postpone indefinitely has the effect of killing the motion. That kills it. It's labeled postpone indefinitely, but it has the effect of killing it. If I can answer any other questions, I'll be happy to.
So then I would like to restate my motion. I'd like to postpone this motion until such a time as the concerns addressed in executive session are addressed.
Mr. Brown, since she's setting conditions for when this can be taken back up, but not setting a time certain for it to be taken back up. Is that an option?
Yes, you can do that. Yes,
Okay.
that's a vote.
Okay, so to clarify, Ms. Adams is moving to postpone consideration of this motion until such time as we have more information to decide on it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, but that, Madam Chair, it really needs to be a.
Fine, I move to postpone this motion for 30 days.
That would be permissible.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Adams.
Point of information.
I'd like to.
Mr. Molman?
Will we be able to take that up earlier than 30 days?
Not
If we
a-
so choose?
I think so.
Mr. Brown? Did you hear that question? If she says for 30 days, can it be taken up before then?
I'm honestly not. At a minimum, I think it would require suspending the rules. I don't really think it could be taken up before then.
Madam Chair, point of order.
Mr. Ferreira?
I believe we could postpone this to the next meeting, and if we're not ready to discuss it at the meeting, we can postpone it again. The furthest we can postpone something is always to the next meeting, but that doesn't stop us from postponing it multiple times.
That's correct. You can postpone it from meeting after meeting.
Point of information, when is our next regularly scheduled meeting?
At the convention.
That's what I thought.
I would like to propose an amendment to the motion.
Oh, hold on, please. Ms. Adams, your motion, so the first motion that you made, which was to table, is going to be ruled out of order. So we are back to no current motion other than the one that you have just made, which has not actually been seconded because we're still trying to clarify it. Hold on, guys. It hasn't been seconded because it wasn't clear. So
what a bitch.
We're still
I'm sorry, I got into chat.
Consideration of this motion.
They
for 30
don't
days.
know what the hell they're doing. You can't
So
postpone
you
something
intend
to the
at the
next
30-day
meeting because the
mark,
next meeting
no
is
matter
over a
what,
quarter
to take this
away.
motion up.
You cannot put
Yes, that
something
we gotta hold
outside
another
the
special meeting and
hands
take this
of
motion up.
the committee
So,
for a time period
30
over
days
30
from now.
days. But now
needs to be
they're just going to
clear on what
relive
they're-
this
what they're
drama in
considering.
30 days.
30 days from now puts us at.
They don't know what they're doing. And Wilford keeps offering parliamentary advice. He's not a fucking parliamentarian. Being a member
Wednesday,
of the National
February the
Association of
16th.
Parliamentarians does not make you a parliamentarian. It means you are able to be
My
to
math
give up
lines up with that.
$110 a year in
It's
dues, and
7
that's
p.m.
it.
Central Time.
And you passed
That
a
helps.
basic test that any LP member could pass that's been to a meeting.
So I understand your motion to be to postpone this item to be taken up on Wednesday, February 16th at, did you say 8 Eastern?
7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
And an online meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Secretary, did you get that?
I have Adams moves to postpone for 30 days until February 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to postpone this item to February 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern to an online meeting. It has been seconded. Are there any objections to that motion?
Objection.
I hear an objection. Ms. Adams, would you like to speak to your motion?
Certainly, I feel there are many members of this board that are seeking more information and additional guidance that they don't have at this time, and I would like to give them the opportunity to have that information.
Okay. Mr. Buffin, would you like to speak to your objection?
I guess I'm on the differing viewpoint on that, and I would just like to see us resolve this as soon as possible.
Thank you. I see 3 people seeking to be recognized. I assume it is all for the current motion, which is to postpone. Mr. Smith?
I call the question.
Second.
Second.
Any objections to calling the question?
I object.
All right. Mr. Smith, do you feel you need to speak to why you are calling the question?
No, I absolutely do not.
Mr. Lucchini, would you like to speak to your objection?
Calling the question is fucking undebatable. That's the whole point of calling the question. Oh my fucking God, do these people not know what they're doing?
For 7 days, because if that's more enough time to consult with attorneys.
Okay. Anyone else seeking to be recognized on calling the question?
Calling the question is not a debatable motion for Roner. Sorry.
So we will proceed to a vote.
I have a question, please. I raised my hand.
Mr. Ford?
Just in response to Mr. Lucchini's objection, 7 days is not long enough, as I feel I will need to see counsel after listening to counsel and having questions answered by that we are talking about. I hope that's bland enough, but I think you get the point. Do you get the point? If I'm not explaining myself well.
None of this matters because it's out of order. There is no debate around calling the question. Thanks.
Fair enough.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor. Mr. Wilford, how do you want to do this? We need to see vote on calling the question.
Yeah, I'll just do it via a roll call vote, and I'll go in reverse order. So I'll start with myself, and on calling the question, I will vote yes. Smith.
Yes.
Sarwark.
No.
Rodsup.
Yes.
Joshua's watching my comments in chat,
I think Buffman is
and
sitting
he's
in,
getting
so
parliamentary advice from me.
Yes.
Hey, Kayla?
But Whitney is incompetent to be chair.
Yes.
She doesn't know the basics of
Coleman.
Roberts.
Yes.
Like, people who are utterly ignorant on Roberts
Longstreth.
knows calling the question is undebatable. Just use your noodle. You're moving to end debate. Would it make fucking sense to
Lucchini.
debate on moving to end debate?
No.
Hogarth.
Yes.
Hewitt.
It's like common fucking sense.
Hagan.
Yes.
Whitney doesn't know shit about RO&R.
Yes.
Bowen.
Wilford's not good,
Yes.
but he's way better than Whitney.
Adams.
Yes.
Wilford would be a better chair than
Madam
Whitney.
Chair.
I bet you he was a better chair of Texas, too.
Okay.
Because he's a nice guy.
14-1. Motion passes.
All right.
Wilford, I
now
heard, was a
proceed
very popular chair in
vote
Texas,
on
by
the
the way.
motion,
And I could see him being a good chair. He's decent in Roberts. He's not a parliamentarian,
days
but he's
to
decent. He's an
February
awful
16th
secretary,
to take
though.
this back
I'm
up
sorry.
at 8
Like, he just is. His minutes from the December meeting were
Now, going
atrocious.
forward order. Adams.
But I can imagine him being a very, very likable chair
Yes.
because he's like my opponent,
Bowen.
but I can't help but like the
Yes.
guy. He's adorable.
Epke.
Yes.
Hagan.
No.
Wilford for LP
Hewitt.
Texas chair. I'll help run his campaign.
No.
Hogarth.
No.
Lucchini.
No.
Longstreth.
No.
They're all voting no
Bowman.
to postpone. What fucking
As
cowards.
a point of information, this is for 30 days, correct?
Correct.
I'll vote no.
Ken voted no.
Nana.
Yes.
Dustin Nana is the most principled
Michaela.
person on this LNC.
Aye.
Yes. Phillips.
Dustin Nana has my support for
Mrs.
anything he
O'Donnell.
wants to do in this.
That's fine.
It's on the motion to postpone, O'Donnell. Dustin Nana has my support
Roxette.
for anything he wants to do in
Yes.
this party.
Yes. Sarwark.
No.
Of course, she fucking voted no.
Smith.
Yes.
I am going to vote yes. And Madam Chair.
O'Donnell will never bring it up again. That's
Oh,
why.
boy.
And
1, 2, 3, 4,
Is it
5,
tied?
6, 7, 8 in favor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 opposed.
what's
And
Whitney gonna
if
do?
If this fails,
Because
if
you-
postponement fails, it's still on the table right now.
Yes, dumbass.
Okay. And I'm going to vote no.
What a fucking bitch.
8 to 9.
It's
In favor, not
it's to postpone. The only person right now that has my unequivocal support is Dustin Nana.
All right.
Madam Chair, I have raised my hand after the vote.
I'm not counting alternates here,
Mr.
by the
Mullen.
way. And I didn't hear how Rich Bowen voted on
Same
this.
motion,
Rich
14
Bowen
days
might.
instead of 30.
Rich, you can't. Oh, he did
Okay.
amendment. I got it. Rich Bowen might have my unequivocal support. I didn't hear what his vote was here. I only heard Dustin.
Second it.
Eric voted the right way, but he voted shitty the rest of the time.
I object.
Nikayla voted the right way, but he voted shitty the rest of the time. Mullman's voted shitty the entire meeting.
Put us at,
Radsep has been a mixed bag. The only one
I
who's been
believe that's the
good is
31st.
Dustin.
I concur with that.
It is the 4th. Yes, the 31st. Okay. So same motion to postpone this item to be considered in 14 days, which puts us at January 31st. I assume same 8 p.m. Eastern. And it was seconded. There was objection. Mr. Molman, would you like to speak to your motion?
I feel as though a number of the no votes were the length of time. I believe that we heard objection to 1 week. We definitely didn't pass 30 days, so I'm going to try to go for 2 weeks. That's where I'm at.
Thank you.
Postpone
Mr.
indefinitely.
Objection?
That's the only respectable
I just
motion.
think that we have board members who were worried about legal ramifications that said they needed more time than.
How did Bowen make?
You know,
Ken made
days
the
were
amendment.
needed, so
How did
I don't know
Bowen
why
vote on
we
this,
didn't listen
please?
to those
I
board
missed
members,
it.
but it's ridiculous. So.
Mr.
If the motion to censure passes, I will do an
On this
interpretive dance video for Joshua and beg him to fap
The
to
real
it.
question to me is when we're going to see realized guidance from an attorney, from us, as we discussed, get the questions answered, and then how much time will we have to react to that information? That to me is the real question. I don't know that it's possible to do it in 14 days. It's certainly not possible to do 7, and I don't know how we can responsibly make a decision tonight.
The only thing I can say is that I will reach out to our legal counsel first thing in the morning It would be helpful to me if you all would provide me with specific questions that you would like asked so that he knows what to prepare. And then either he can provide us a written statement. Or
Oh,
we can
Bowen
try
is
to
absent.
schedule a phone
I
call.
don't really judge alternates.
That's
They
best I
don't
can
get to
do at
participate
this
enough.
time on a Monday.
I give alternates a
No, and I
pass.
appreciate that.
And I
sorry,
love
like
Pat
to-
Ford.
I prefer a phone call with, of course, questions up front. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Molman, your hand is still up.
Artifact, sorry.
Okay, Mr. Nana.
Yeah, I voted yes for 30. I'm going to vote yes for this. I think 7 is far too soon. I'm not sure 14 is enough, but it's probably as best as I think we're going to get. And maybe we can come to some agreement on that.
Yeah, so they're going to kick it down the can a week. I'm not going to blame Dustin for this, but they're going to kick it down a week and keep the party in drama for a week. This LNC is fucking spineless.
To make a motion or anything like that in this meeting. However, I do feel that this is probably not going to solve this issue. I think tabling it is just going to upset members further and fuel the fires. If I were in the position to be able to make a recommendation for a motion, I would see if Mr. Smith would be and the board would be amenable to apologizing to Mr.
Fuck
Smith
no.
for taking
Fuck you,
improper channels,
Flores.
assuring that in the future that we would take proper channels to address staff concerns in the future and bring them to the EPCC.
No.
And to drop and dismiss this censure as a result. That would be my suggestion, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Mr. Hall?
Mr. Smith has already said that a censure doesn't mean anything to him. So at this point, what more do we need to move forward
And
with this?
fuck
We're
you,
either
Jared Hall.
that we've done something or that we haven't done something. And from everything that had been said beforehand, that's the very bare.
Dustin,
minimum,
I
that we've done
apologize. You have
something
such a
or not.
shitty alternate.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Mr. Rogsett?
I voted yes on 30. I am voting yes on 14. If we need more time at the end of the 14, we can always vote to extend again. So I urge everyone to please vote yes on this.
Ms. Hogarth?
We're not voting on a complex legal issue. We're voting on a board censure of a member who has
I know, she's
violated
just-
our policy manual in a way.
You violated the
that
policy
is
manual, you
injurious to our
bitch.
relationship with our staff.
Susan violated
I
the
think
policy
punting is
manual.
absolutely the wrong
Susan,
option.
move
It's
to
fine
censor
seek,
yourself, and I will have respect for
legal
you.
counsel on employment issues, but this isn't an employment issue. It's a board issue, and we need to show that we're
Move to censor Susan
committed to
Hogarth for
supporting
being
our
a
staff
dumbass.
according to our policy manual.
Thank you. Mr. Wilford?
Sorry about that. Let me unmute. I guess I'll start by saying I do plan on voting against 14 days. Not because I think it is too much or too little time, but mostly because it falls on my birthday.
Oh,
but
how
furthermore,
giving of you.
I think we approach this wrong when we put a set number of days. I think it is perfectly reasonable that we could have an answer in 3 days. I think it is also possible that it takes longer for some of these questions to be resolved. I think some members do have valid questions.
really
that
said
need to be
that.
resolved. But if we postpone this indefinitely, we can bring it back up at any time once these issues are resolved. That can then be done by calling another meeting or simply by taking an email vote. So for that reason, I move to amend to postpone indefinitely.
Second.
Yeah, second as well.
There has been a motion to amend the postponement of 14 days to postponement indefinitely.
Point of order.
I made a
been
motion to
seconded.
censor Susan Hogarth for being an insufferable dumbass.
Yes, I believe a motion to postpone indefinitely is a distinct motion from my motion to postpone to a time certain. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'd like that looked
You
into.
can motion to substitute, you
Mr.
dumbass.
Brown, can you speak to that? In other words, Mr. Longstreth, are you saying that it would be out of order because it can't
You
be
can
substituted?
motion to substitute.
Yes, that those are not interchangeable in this context. It'd be like a motion to table versus.
I know it falls afoul of converting one parliamentary motion into
I think
another,
he
but
is
it's
correct
not
about
through
that.
amendment.
It's
Disagree.
to accomplish two different
Disagree.
purposes.
Disagree. You can amend a motion to censor to a motion to commend. I disagree with you, JJ.
Okay.
I disagree with
Thank you.
Richard Brown too.
You can make a substitute motion.
Yes.
It could be a substitute motion rather than.
Yes, it can be a substitute.
Rather than amending it,
Yes.
substitute motion.
Yes.
Point of parliamentary inquiry.
So it is. So in other words, what he is effectively doing is offering an amendment by substitution.
Right, and that's in fucking
If I
order.
heard it correctly, that's right. And also, as far as the effect of postponing indefinitely, it doesn't kill the motion
Right.
permanently. It can be renewed
At any time.
It's killed permanently unless it gets renewed.
Exactly. Richard Brown is right.
Do you understand that? And this was for the benefit of Aaron also, who had
Yes.
questions about postponing indefinitely. It has the effect of killing the motion, but it can be renewed or made again at any future session.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion to amend by substitution. Instead of setting this date for 14 days. it is
JJ, you
postponed
and I
indefinitely.
respectfully disagree. But if you let me buy you a drink in
It was
Philadelphia, I'll concede the
Any
point.
objection?
Will you let me buy you
Are
a
there any
drink? Will you let me get you
objections
drunk
to
in
postponing indefinitely?
in Pennsylvania?
As
JJ,
a
if you let me get you
substitution
drunk
for
in
postponing
Pennsylvania, I will agree to almost anything. Almost is the key word.
Object.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Chris Lucchini. You're a
Mr.
scumbag.
Lucchini. Thank you. Mr. Smith, do you need to speak to your motion?
I didn't make the motion.
It was Mr. Welford's motion.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
The
just
motion-
I just seconded
I
the
see.
motion.
hang on just a second. Mr. Brown, are you, I just saw a message from you. Is it now?
Okay, good. I was trying to get through. I might have lost track.
Boo,
Where we
JJ.
stand right now.
I
What-
want you and
what's
I to
the
get
motion
drunk
and what is
together.
someone trying to
I
do?
think we'll have a lot
Well,
of
the
fun.
motion was
Bring your
to postpone
girlfriend.
for 14 days.
Like nothing
We had a
untoward.
date
We'll all
that
three
was
of us will
set.
get drunk.
It had been seconded, and then Mr. Wilford.
I wish Mike
moved to
Seebeck was there
amend
too.
by
Mike, can you come to Philadelphia with
postponing-
me?
Essentially substituting it to postpone indefinitely.
Or Pennsylvania,
instead of the
wherever the
14
fuck it
days.
is.
That's right. And I think I told
You want to meet JJ?
that would be, it could not be amended, but would be permissible as a substitute. But actually, it's not permissible as a substitute because it is a lower ranking motion. It is just about the lowest of the motions. So you cannot substitute a motion to postpone.
Now I
indefinitely
disagree with
for a
Richard Brown.
motion to postpone
But-
to a definite time. But
I'm now totally confused where they're at.
if it's postponed to a definite time, it can always be postponed again. And it can
Now
be
I
taken
disagree
up
with
sooner,
Richard
but it would
Brown.
require
But I could be
suspending the
drinking
rules.
too
It would take
much.
a 2/3 vote to take it up sooner.
Okay. All right. So, to be clear, and I am getting confirmation from other parliamentarians about this as well, that it is not, the motion on the floor is the 14-day postponement, and it cannot be substituted for the
David Brady, I think
postpone-
I'm confused now
indefinite
too, but I'm like
So,
very well into
that,
a bottle
Mr.
of
Wilford,
Grand
your motion
Marnier.
was out of order.
Thank you, Madam
Yes,
Chair.
you were right, comment. Thank you. period.
Thank you. All right. So we are back to the motion at hand, which is 14 days, puts us on the 31st, 8 p.m. Eastern. I see Beth Vest.
I'm sorry. Are you asking me to vote?
Your hand is up.
No, I'm not. I don't need to speak.
Mr. Lucchini.
I seconded this motion. Having said that, I would prefer that we resolve this tonight. I understand that people are apprehensive about legal implications. I get that. But this motion is truly about a violation of policy, egregious violation, persistent violation of policy. And it's not really about the legal issues. I'm willing to allow a 14-day consultation period with attorneys if that is what makes people comfortable, but I think it's unnecessary. So having said all of that, I'd like to call the question.
All right, question has been called.
Just for clarification for the minutes, was that calling the question on the postponement or all pending questions?
No, you don't. You didn't really listen to what he said. No, you
Just
wouldn't.
on the postpone.
Second.
All right. Question has been called and seconded. Is there any objection to calling the question? Hearing no objection, we will proceed to a vote on the motion, which is to postpone this matter for 14 days, putting us at an 8 o'clock Eastern time meeting on January 31st.
All right, I will go and, are we ready?
Yes.
All right, I'll go in reverse order and I will be voting no. Smith.
I don't even know what we're voting on now.
Pass. Sawwork.
Nope.
I think it's a postponement for 7 days.
Yes.
Buckman.
No.
Nikayla.
Aye.
Yes. Nana.
Yes.
Yes. Molman.
Yes.
Yes. Longstreth.
No.
No. Lucchini.
No.
No. Hogarth.
No.
No. Hewitt.
No.
No. Hagan.
No.
No. Ebke.
No.
No. Bowen.
Yes.
Yes. Adams.
Yes.
Yes. Smith.
What's the count, Mr. Secretary?
Currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in favor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 opposed.
I'll abstain.
Abstain, Madam Chair.
I will not vote.
Okay. 6 in favor, 9 opposed, 2 abstain.
So the motion fails.
Mm-hmm.
We are back at our main motion, which is the matter of the censure of Joshua Smith for violations of the policy manual. Mr. Lucchini, your hand is still up.
I'd like to call the question.
All right, question has been called. Any objections to calling the question?
I will object.
And I have
Mr.
a point
Molman?
of information too. So
Calling the question is undebatable.
I have a point of information. I was going to say something that might make it easier for everyone on the board to vote a certain way. So
I hope he isn't going to resign.
if they allow me to speak,
You have the floor.
I'd be willing to accept this censure and be done with it if someone on this board would be willing to make a censure for every single person that violated the same policy manual section in the handling of the Karen Ann Harlow stuff. If you guys are willing to set that precedent and make that motion to censure yourselves, then I'll accept a censure for the same reason. Thank you.
I would be willing to make that motion on the email list. I cannot guarantee it will get enough votes passed.
Make it here.
Make it here. Make it here, you coward.
Who would be getting censured? I guess I'm
out of
confused.
order.
It's out of order here.
Fuck you, Whitney.
It's out of order here.
It's actually not. I gave plenty of notice to the list that censure.
Exactly.
That has nothing to do with it. This
Yes, it
meeting
has
was called
everything.
for a very
You're not.
specific purpose.
Literally at all.
And this meeting has a very specific purpose. It was called for a very specific purpose. So anything further can be on the list. No problem.
Madam Chair.
All right. Is there any further discussion? Mr. Molman, you objected to calling the question.
Yes. I object because I still don't have the information that I want, that we talked about already.
I'd also like to appeal the ruling of the chair that my motion or my what I said was out of order. I brought plenty of notice to the list for this meeting that we could bring other censures. I think you're incorrect, so I'd like to appeal the ruling of the chair.
Point of information.
Mr. Lucchini?
Was Mr. Smith's motion on the business list seconded to censure other members of the LNC?
Doesn't need to be seconded to be added to the agenda.
It has to be co-sponsored to be.
Your ruling.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Brown, does the appeal of the ruling of the chair need to be seconded?
Yes, Madam Chair, it does. And by the way, this is my understanding. This meeting was called for the sole purpose of considering a motion of censure against Mr. Smith. Any other business would be out of order.
That is what I said. Mr. Smith, your appeal does not have a second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Bowen. So we have an appeal of from the ruling of the chair. It has been seconded. Mr. Smith, would you like to speak to your appeal?
Yes, I gave plenty of notice. You guys are holding a completely hypocritical meeting against me for violating a section of the policy manual that you all have yourselves also violated in this term. And in fact, the person who made the motion to censure me has violated that exact policy manual section, and he wrote the policy manual section, so he knows that he's violated that section. I just think that it would be very hypocritical for you guys to vote yes on a censure of me for violating a section of the policy manual that you guys have already violated yourselves this term. And I don't think that it's out of order to hold that here. And so I'm appealing the ruling of the chair, and I hope you guys will support that and be consistent in all of the things that you do, so you're not showing our members that you're just.
We have a bad precedent of allowing the parliamentarian to speak in meetings. Richard Brown is out of line here. I'm sorry, he's completely out of line here. He's supposed to be whispering to the chair.
Consistent with our policy manual, the chair is correct here. Our policy manual clearly states that a
fuck you, Richard. You don't care about consistency. You violated the policy manual and what you did to me. Go fuck yourself with a quadruple barbed dildo.
And I have to be up at 3.
I don't care what time you have to be up. Go fuck yourself, Richard Longstreth.
The agenda could have been amended had Mr. Smith, I believe, gathered enough co-sponsors to his motion prior to the 7 days, because
fuck you. Oh, what's that song?
A special meeting to be called, in which case
Go
it probably could have been added
yourself.
to the agenda, but that's not what happened in here. So outside of the correct amount of co-sponsors or anything else,
fuck you, Richard Longstreth.
The agenda was limited to a very specific.
Fuck you.
In case you're wondering where the co-sponsors there
fuck
were,
you.
That was
fuck
the entire
you.
executive committee minus Mr. Phillips.
You are the worst person on this LNC.
Meeting, which far
I hope you embarrass yourself by running again.
To call a meeting to hear something like that.
Why don't you go write my husband to shut me up again, you stupid fucking hypocrite?
To affirm that ruling that the chair is correct.
I'll actually read the policy itself as I did at the beginning of this call. It's on page 16. Under special rules of order. It is electronic meetings and it's section L. Electronic meetings are special meetings such that only the topics listed in the call of the meeting may be considered during the meeting. That has been affirmed also by our parliamentarian. And is there anyone else wishing to speak on challenging the ruling of the chair? All right, we'll proceed to a vote. A yes vote. A yes vote upholds the ruling of the chair.
Madam Chair, point of information.
Mr. Brown.
Yes, Madam Chair.
The yes vote sustains the ruling of the chair.
Correct. The question is, shall the decision of the chair be sustained? And a yes vote sustains the ruling of the chair. A no vote is to overturn it. It takes a majority vote to overturn the ruling of the chair.
Okay.
Madam Chair, point of information.
Ms. Adam.
Beth Vass will be holding the seat for Region 7 for the time being. I need to step away for one moment.
Thank you. Mr. Wilford, did you catch that?
I did.
Okay. All right, so we're proceeding to a vote on the appeal to the ruling of the chair. A yes vote sustains the ruling. That adding things to the topic right now is out of order. A no vote overturns the ruling. Requires a majority to be overturned. You are ready.
All right, and this will be in forward order. So we will start with Vest.
I vote yes.
Bowen.
Okay, after that
No.
musical interlude, we're back to the meeting.
Epke.
Yes.
Ooh, the
Hagen.
host is allowing
Yes.
participants to unmute themselves.
Do it.
Should I play Go Fuck Yourself?
Yes. Hogarth.
Yes.
Lucchini.
Yes.
I don't even know what we're voting on now.
Longstreth.
Yes.
Molman.
Yes.
What are we voting on?
Nana.
Yes.
I don't care if
Michaela.
he kicks me at this point.
Abstain.
What are they voting on?
Buckman.
Yes.
Rodsep.
Yes.
So
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sarwark voted to overturn. Joshua
I'm
said
voting
no.
yes.
Oh, it's to
Madam Chair?
sustain.
I don't need to vote.
Okay. Final tally.
Oh, I can't unmute myself.
Is 13 yes, 2 no, 2 abstains.
Okay, so the ruling of the chair is upheld.
Point of clarification, I think there was one abstention. I don't know if I misheard the secretary, but I thought he said no abstention.
I said 2 abstentions.
Oh, I apologize then.
Mr. Longstreth, are you still seeking to be recognized?
No, I apologize. That's an artifact. I'm not sure why that's there.
All right. Mr. Secretary, can you help me remember at this point, we are back to the main motion. The question had been called.
We were
I'm
at
mad
the
right
motion to
now.
Call the question.
I'm mad right now, and I might change my mind. But right now, anyone who didn't vote that,
All right,
anyone who's
so,
voted terrible in this meeting, at least right now, I'm not voting for any
there
of
was
them
objections
for
upon the
anything,
question.
whether they're endorsed by Mises
believe
or
so.
not. Fuck off. I might change my
So,
mind. I'm really
we
fucking
should
drunk
be
and really
voting on
fucking angry right
whether or not to call
now.
the question then. Can you verify that?
Correct. There's no debate.
Is that where we are though, Mr. Wilford?
Yes, that is where we are.
All right, so are you prepared for that vote?
I am.
So a yes vote brings us to a vote on the motion at hand.
Okay, and we are to reverse order. All right, so starting with me, I will vote yes. Smith.
Yes.
Sarwart.
Clarification, is the motion at hand the main motion of the censure?
No, it's calling the question. It's basically, we're voting now to go straight to a vote on that motion, on the censure motion. We're
Yes.
voting now to call the question or not.
Thank you. Yes.
Rudsup.
Yes.
Huffman.
Yes.
Michaela.
Although yes.
Nana.
Yes.
Melman.
No.
No. Longstreth.
Yes.
Lucchini.
Yes.
Hogarth.
Yes.
Hewitt.
Yes.
Hagan.
Yes.
Epke.
Yes.
Bowen.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Vote.
15-1-1.
All right. We will now proceed to a vote on the motion itself, which was on your screen earlier. The motion to censure Joshua Smith for violations of a specific policy manual.
One second to get the sheet ready, and I will be good to go. Okay. And back to forward order. Vest.
Yes.
Bowen.
Abstain.
Epke.
Yes.
Hagan.
Yes.
Hewitt.
Yes.
Hogarth.
Absolutely yes.
Lucchini.
Yes.
Longstreth.
Yes.
Melman.
Should versus shall. No.
Anna.
I abstain.
Michaela.
No.
Buffman.
Yes.
Broadstep.
No.
Sarwart.
Yes.
Smith.
See y'all in Reno, cowards. No.
I am voting yes. Madam Chair.
I will not vote.
Okay. We got this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 in favor. 1, 2, 3, 4 opposed. 3 abstentions.
And the result, Mr. Wolfer?
Motion passes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Call for adjournment. Well, I suppose there's no need to call, but
Yes, we have exhausted our agenda for this evening. So, I did hear a call for adjournment.
It was Hogarth, correct?
Yes, it was Hogarth. Always in order, not debatable.
Second.
Any objection to adjournment? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Every time I go to one of these meetings, I end up.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got involved in chat here. I know it won't go anywhere. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Man, wasn't Sugarth? Man, these people are just. I don't even feel bad anymore for calling them. What did he call them again? Psychopathic, cowardly psychopaths. But Joshua did good. He put up a good fight. Just like I put up a good fight. But I've changed my mind. I think Lucchini should be removed. At first I was like, you know what? The party doesn't have the stomach for it. Fuck it. This guy is just an absolute scumbag. He didn't ask Region 1 for their opinions. Let me tell you what Lucchini did. We haven't talked about this before. Let me tell you what Lucchini did. Lucchini called an invalid constitutional convention because he got one call from one Mises member, and he got concerned about a Mises takeover from one member. And he called a constitutional convention to amend the Constitution to change the delegate requirements from, I think it was 90 days to 150 days after the 150 days had passed. How fucking corrupt can you be? He needs to be removed. I'm not making a commitment to this right now because I'm very angry and I don't like making commitments when I'm angry. But if the Colorado board doesn't support his removal, I'm seriously considering resigning. Yeah, JJ, they can be removed by the region. The region won't remove him. They just won't. Which is the reason why Colorado hasn't bothered to move to remove him. But it's a matter of fucking principle now. And I've been opposed to his removal in the past because I said the party doesn't need more drama. But I am done with this. And I'm not making a promises to this because, again, I've had a little bit too much to drink, admittedly, and I'm very angry. But if the Colorado board doesn't support removal, I'm probably going to resign. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I am going to make a motion immediately when I'm done with this stream. I'm forwarding it over to ask for consideration from the Radical Caucus chair to censure Susan Hogarth and Richard Longstreth. It won't pass, but fuck them. Free men die free. Resigning from Colorado won't do anything. They'll just appoint another Mises person. But if they can't support me on this, I've got better things to do. Joshua did very well. Joshua, you kept your composure in a very admirable way. And I am totally reconsidering all of my votes. There were 6 people on the LNC. I am super upset right now. Plus, I've had too much to drink, so I'm emotional. There are 6 people on the LNC, except for Dustin Nana. Dustin Nana, I'll support him for whatever he wants. There are 5 people on the LNC right now, not counting alternates, that I am seriously reconsidering supporting for anything. Listen, Carol Moore is jealous because I've got bigger boobs than her. I don't give a shit what Carol Moore says. Nick Sarwark is not a member of the Radical Caucus, Tyler. He's in the group, but you don't have to be a member of the caucus to be in the group. He's never agreed to the 5 points in order to be a Radical Caucus member. Can we? Let's have a petition to tell the LNC to fuck the right off. This is the worst LNC in party history. But I am so disappointed. I didn't hear how Rich Bowen voted on a lot of things, so I'm going to leave him completely out of this. But I am disappointed in Stephen Nikala. I am disappointed in Eric Raudsep. I am disappointed in Ken Molman. I don't know what I'm going to do with those people yet. I need to listen to the meeting again and make my decision. He's not a member, Tyler. That was corrected to me. He's not a member. He's not a member. If he's a member, I will move to remove him. if he's a member. I won't win, but I was told he was not a member. This is absolutely ridiculous. They broke the same rules. Richard Longstreth, you are the worst member of the LNC. You are a disgusting person, and I'm embarrassed that you were ever in Colorado. If I could do a motion to erase your name from the Colorado records, I would do so. I'm going to get off for the night. Joshua, I am proud of you. You conducted yourself very admirably. You conducted yourself way better than I would have. They are terrible people. And really, if I could afford it, I would send you a gold-plated copy of this censure. They are hypocrites in the highest order. The Radical Caucus should dissolve. Fuck them. And this is my salute to you, Joshua. I am proud to endorse you. Good night, everyone.